Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spawncast episode 306. We actually have quite a few things to go over tonight, despite Sean's best efforts. So I think we'll have some fun here. And we are missing Nate. Nate needs to make his way in here soon because he has to answer for his crimes. All right, we'll talk to him about that.
What crimes? He was sent a press packet. That was all.
No, he needs to tell me he disagrees with me on this title, and I need him to explain why. So he better get here soon. But let me go around with everyone who is here right now. We got RGT85.
Hello.
Back for the show start. It's been a while since you've been here for the start of the show.
It's been like a month.
It's good to have Sean here. Feeling better?
Yeah, I definitely am. I debated whether or not to come on tonight because we got NBA All-Star Weekend and Elimination Chamber, but I thought, yeah, I guess I should come back. It's about time.
When's Elimination Chamber start?
It started at 7.
NBA All-Star Weekend.
Yeah, Julius Randle is in the 3-point contest, and Jericho Stems
win.
Is okay. Just like the Chicago Bulls. What's your point?
What, there's no Bulls that are in the 3.
Exactly, because there's none that are all-stars.
No, DeMar DeRozan's an all-star.
He shouldn't be.
That's
I don't know what any of this means.
It's just gibberish.
a tall black guy is playing in the best of NBA game. There you go.
We got OJ player essence here. How we doing, OJ?
I am not in the NBA All-Star game.
Could be though.
But we have an All-Star podcast tonight, and I'm here. Let's do it.
We have Evan. Evan's here as well. Good to have Evan here. Got Jordan Fringe. Jordan Fringe returning. It's been a while, actually. He heard that there was Pokemon talk tonight, so he made his way here.
I made my way here. I am actually in the All-Star game, which is crazy, So who knows how long I have to be here tonight.
Jordan, happy 60th birthday, man.
Yeah.
Happy 60th, dude.
Thank you. I've been
the 10 million too. That was super nice.
Donating to.
It's the little things that I do.
Channel's been doing great though, so I know you're good for it. That 10.
I know. It's been a ride. I put out a 7.5 hour video this week.
I was gonna say, speaking of channel, you put out a 7-hour video the other day.
Yeah, a little over 7-hour video on everyone's favorite show, Hey Arnold. So if you want to learn about Hey Arnold and I talk with the creator, there's that. If you have 7 hours,
no chapters.
What's not 7 hours is the podcast.
There you go.
Yeah,
I watched a good chunk of your video, by the way, Jordan, and I want to commend it. I don't watch a lot of like cartoon style videos, like show breakdowns. Your tone was like so excited and cool. Just wanted to give you big props on that. It was really good, actually.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I watched Evan's videos and I still don't know what the hell is going on. But I watched them, baby.
It's the point of making them.
Yeah.
We do have Dreamcast guy here.
Hello. I'm secretly playing a bunch of Atomic Heart, so a big review up Monday.
Secret's out.
It's secret. I'm so ready
We'll
to
talk about that on the next. But they're
secretly
actually
playing this thing that I'm secretly playing. Yeah, it's called Atomic Heart.
I'm definitely not playing this super top secret. Okay.
There's me next weekend. There's gonna be actually a lot of stuff happening, so that'll be good. That'll be good. I'm excited for Atomic Heart though. I'll be grabbing that on Game Pass right away. So look forward to your thoughts on that. It's gonna be on Game Pass day one. Yeah, so I'm just gonna download it there. Why not?
Microsoft coming through with the bag, baby.
Yeah, looking forward to your review on that one, Max. We do have a bunch of stuff tonight. I did mention last week that we would go over it because I think we are getting closer to it, and that's this rumored Sony State of Play. So I thought we would touch on that a little bit here. We do have some Pokemon stuff to go over, which is great that Jordan's here because I think he may have a game to get excited for here soon after him and I clashed on that first one for the Switch. But
Mystery Dungeon? Nobody's excited for that except Jordan.
It's getting another game.
Jordan never talks to me on Twitter. I made one joke about Mystery Dungeon. Jordan comes out of nowhere and said, Jordan never says a damn thing to me on Twitter.
No, because I don't want to get into it with you. I don't want to. It's not even worth getting into it with you. But when I see you just slandering that far, like you're not even just saying like the usual, like, oh, this game's trash. You're just blatantly lying about the game. All right, I have to come in there and be like, listen, you talk more smack like that. I told you, I'm reporting you to the IRS.
I made one little joke.
I see it. I understand.
All right. Evan, you want to start us with a Discord question?
Last Spawncast, there was a hint or insinuation about another Metal Gear Solid remake remaster, but no one talks about the music issues regarding Tappy's theme and the plagiarism controversy. Also, music in Twin Snakes sucked, and music made the original Metal Gear Solid. Anyone else concerned?
I feel like the licensing will get figured out. I mean, Konami, I don't know, because they still haven't put the old remasters back up, but
Well, that was video footage though, like historical stuff. So I feel like that would be a little more challenging than music that was used in a game. Or I mean, you gotta fucking Tony Hawk got most of the songs back for Tony Hawk 1 and 2. Like, I wouldn't be too worried about that.
I feel like a lot of stuff rides. We're supposed to get the Silent Hill 2 remake maybe this year. I think that's going to kind of make or break the trust of new Konami. If that actually is good, then I'll trust whatever Metal Gear thing is coming after that.
Okay. You got another one, Evan?
If licensing wasn't an obstacle, what Game Boy, Game Boy Color, or Game Boy Advance game would you like to see come to the NSO?
Metal Gear Solid.
That's a good one. Oh man, I would say
that'd be a cool one.
Boktai, The Sun Is in Your Hands.
Fuck that game.
Yeah, I love that game. It's like a game that has a little sun sensor on the top, and you fight vampires.
That's Kojima's worst shit ever.
Bro, well, both of them are great, especially if you play the ROM, because you could just turn up the sun and sit in the pure darkness like I do and play it anyways.
So what's the point?
To piss off people like you.
Okay.
I guess, I wouldn't mind seeing them do something like the Pokemon trading card game 2 that never came out here. Translate that, bring it over.
My camera
Dude,
froze.
hell
I'm
yeah.
gonna recycle it real quick.
That's what I would do.
There we go.
All right, cool. Let's start with, we'll start with do you want to start with the Pokemon stuff, Jordan? Since you said you're going to be you might have to run a little later on.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We'll start with the Pokemon stuff. First off, we did have an update that was, the patch notes that were shown for the game, and it is quite lengthy. I don't know if you look through it, Jordan, but
a few things.
Dude, it is like the Jericho's list where it just hits the floor when he unravels all the paper and all of this. And it's a lot of bug fixes, things described that crash the game. And they even mention having less Pokemon and NPCs spawn in as you're running around to try to lighten the load on the system itself. It's they also mentioned that there are some things they can't necessarily tell us yet. So a lot of this pointing towards Pokemon Day. Mm-hmm. Jordan, what are your expectations for Pokemon Day? First off,
well, I'm expecting the usual, a little happy anniversary with some announcements. Usually is how it would go. Since it is like that odd year now without the games, I expect at least showing off a first DLC or an expansion pass that has a 1 and 2 DLC package for Scarlet and Violet, along with information on what they're going to fix in the game. Aside from that, I think we'll get either 1 or 2 spin-off games, one major spin-off, one maybe something smaller. And I do think if all the signs are pointing to it, it does possibly lead to another mystery dungeon coming out. I don't know if it'd be another like fast turnaround like the other one was, where it's like, oh, it's already ready in just like a month or two. So it could be, we could see that come, just in just a few months if it gets announced, which I would love. I know everyone here on this podcast would look the other way and talk crap about it and tweet about it and put lies on Twitter. Shout out to OJ. But it's, I'm excited for it. There is an audience out there. There's a lot of people that love Mystery Dungeon, and they also love DX. And I think what they did with DX was a good start to keep pushing forward on making more games. Now, if it's a remake of the second generation of Mystery Dungeon games, awesome. I think those games are fantastic. They have some of the best story. If not, and it's a brand new game, I also welcome that as well. So I'm excited for that. As far as anything else, it's kind of just kind of up in the air. Hey, maybe Pokemon Sleep.
2 questions, Jordan.
Boy.
Yeah.
Well, one comment about the Mystery Dungeon. It is like a 2 million plus seller on Switch, so there is definitely an audience for it. So I just want to say that. But then the second thing that I want to say is, you said major spinoff. So is that like a Legends? Is that like a?
No, that's the major spinoff.
Okay.
Oh, that's the major spin-off.
Yeah, that's their. What's your major spin-off game?
Do they consider that a major spin-off?
Anything that is not something that's small, that's like a Unite or a Quest or anything like that, is considered a major spin-off. It's just a spin-off of the games.
I thought maybe like Let's Go, or like, I guess that's not really a spin-off because it's a remake of Red and Blue.
Yeah, Let's Go and Arceus are more or less spin-offs than more of like standalone large games. Like, it's weird to kind of put those in their own category with what other spin-offs would be.
Like Pokken would be a spin-off, right?
Pokken would be a spin-off. Like, maybe there could be a new Pokken coming. You know, Pokken's a spin-off.
I hope so.
New Pokemon Snap is a major spin-off. Like, you know, stuff like that is like their major tentpole standalone spin-offs. They either have some sequels or not. Those are their big spin-off games. The smaller stuff is like the directly digital or smaller releases, like Cafe Mix and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm thinking I would love a Conquest 2. That's like a really
that was a good one.
That's like a very like if they even want to touch that again, because it's like I feel like it's like the weird one that everyone goes, oh, I love it, but no one talks about it.
Conquest was pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, Conquest was a cool idea. That could be fun. I think a new Ranger game would be really cool if they want to do a different type of spinoff that isn't like if they're gonna go back and start trying to bring up these older spinoffs. Like, okay, cool, we got our Mystery Dungeon. Go ahead and do a Ranger game. You know, that'd be really fun as well. Actually, use the touchscreen on the Switch. That'd be sick if that happens.
Detective Pikachu too. That's gonna be there.
So as far I think that's still something, because now apparently the movie Detective Pikachu 2 is apparently a possibility for summer next year. So maybe that means in line they'll have a game come out around that same time. I wouldn't expect it this year, but I also wouldn't be surprised if we got it somewhere towards like the end of the year, like a December release or something like that. But as far as Detective Pikachu, that one's like the who knows, because who even knows about the movie actually coming out at this point.
Jordan, what do you think the odds are of Pokemon games going to NSO?
If you would have asked me before they showed it off, I would say, ooh, that's probably going to be hard. But even since we got like the Pokemon trading card game,
trading card game, I saw that get shown. I was like, hold on.
Which surprised me more than anything.
Yeah,
it surprised me more than anything because that game is so outdated with the rules, obviously, of like what current play is. So like to have that game be on there is interesting to see because it's only based on that time period's game rules and like the cards at that time, their HP stats, what they actually did. It's very different. So maybe there's a possibility, but even if it's not the mainline series, we may see like the other games start popping up, like the other spin-off side games at the time. You know, I'm trying to think of a good example. I was gonna say Troze, but that was DS. You know, like Pokemon Pinball, right? They have the original Pokemon Pinball. We have the Ruby Sapphire Pinball. We have Pokemon Puzzle League, the Game Boy version, the challenge one on the Game Boy. One. So yeah, like there's definitely a possibility of Pokemon property being on there. It's just I don't know. Like I would say
Red and Blue go there.
I say there's an opening for it. I say that there is a better chance it could happen than it won't happen.
Okay. I feel like if they drop Pokemon Red and Blue on there, I think immediately the stock of NSO goes up. Everyone,
I believe so as well.
This is it. We're good.
If you have a natural way to connect every single game through whatever, if it's Pokemon Home or Bang, I don't even know what it's even called at this point now. To have all your Pokemon run through that, and it's all every generation is on one, console. That would be pretty cool.
Well, can I ask a dumb question? Why would they not? I guess that's the thing that's confusing to me is I'm loving the Game Boy games. I'm addicted to them on Switch. And I love Gen 1 and 2 and 3. Why would they not? Like, what's the
because problem? Of the value of the property. I feel like there's like always that talks like, yeah, we could make our online more worth it by putting it there, or we could figure out a way to make money off it again. Like, because it's Pokemon. They put when they did it for the 3DS, when they put out all the games for the 3DS again, they all cost money. People went and rebought them, and they know that if they said, hey, $10 and you can get you can purchase these Game Boy games, $10 you can purchase these Game Boy Color games or these advanced games, and you can get any Pokemon from the first gen, second gen, and third gen, depending on which game you want to buy. And it was up for sale, even like $10, people are going to buy it.
Yeah,
that's the problem. Like that's why they're not going to, we're not going to have that easy debate if like, is it going to be on there or not? Because they know they would sell it if they did it, but they know they could look really good by not. And I think they're stuck on that decision.
That's a good point.
Okay. Yeah. I am interested to see if they touch on NSO. I kind of feel like it's time, and it would definitely pull in a lot of subscribers to go that route. So you're expecting that presents then, George? I mean, is everyone thinking there's going to be an event on the 27th then? Monday?
It's more likely than there wouldn't be.
Yeah.
So I would say yes, and I wouldn't expect like crazy announcements. I would say keep it toned to like just the current games with DLC, maybe a spin-off game or two, and just some updates. If anything else happens, that's just extra.
Okay. Good stuff. Looking forward to it. I guess we'll find out. They'd announce it at sometime this week coming up then, since that 27th is a Monday. So should be good. Should be fun. I do want to go over very quickly. Max, you played Wild Hearts, right?
Yes, quite a bit.
Okay, you did. Yeah, because you had the review on it. Okay, cool. What were the thoughts on it? I played some of the trial. What's really funny is I got to the end of the trial actually it might have been the hour. So they give you a 10-hour trial on the Game Pass, which is EA's service is attached to it, EA Live or whatever it is. And I played it an hour, and you get to a certain point, which I believe is after the second
bridge.
Boss. Yeah, after the bridge, like you shoot across, and it's like, okay, now you can either buy the game or just run around in all the world you just played in. So I played it up to that point, and I was like, I'll come back when I get a chance and I have time, and I'll actually play the full version then.
I, as a big Monster Hunter fan who's currently going through, me and my best friend Taylor are playing through Rise again right now. Monster Hunter Rise. We're doing every single monster, every single gear set, like a master file run. So randomly, Wild Hearts popped up, and I was playing that with just random people online. It's really, really playable. Like, I guess the biggest thing to you, isn't it impressive how well, I feel like there's almost this sluggishness at times to Monster Hunter, which is purposeful. Wild Hearts is so fast.
It's fast. It's faster. Yeah, it is. But for me, when I was playing it, I think Monster Hunter feels heavier, but when you connect with like a heavy hit, it does feel like it. I still wasn't getting necessarily those heavy hits from Wild Hearts as much. Maybe that's just because it feels faster, I guess. The thing that I really liked, though, was the fact that you can set up like contraptions and inventions and things in the middle of the battle. So you can build a wall and the thing will charge at you and run right into it and fall backwards. Or you can have like the thing that'll just kind of launch you up in the air. It's almost like a slingshot, sort of.
Yeah.
They can drop down on them. Yeah. You just literally there's make things appear in front of you. It's really cool.
The Sonic the Hedgehog springboard thing where you, I like all that. Honestly, I was using the heavy blade and the bow, and that felt like it had a lot of impact. Like when I hit people with it, it really felt it. I liked it a lot. I do think that the whole crafting system, I think, is definitely going to be the make or break, because a lot of my comment section was people saying, I love Monster Hunter. I know you love Monster Hunter. I'm not playing Fortnite Monster Hunter, because it's very required you do that crafting stuff.
Do all the building and all of this. Yeah, it's just, they have the skill tree. The skill tree looked a little weird when I was using it too. I wasn't really sure where I was going there in the beginning for that. It was like angling left, then right, then up, then down. It was kind of all over the place for the weapons I had.
Yeah.
But they had like the dual swords. They had the big hammer. They had like the big sword. So it looked like there was a lot of cool stuff happen in terms of the weapons and the loadout.
All right, my camera stuff. I'm just going to turn it off and just leave it off, I think.
I'm surprised there isn't more conversation about it. That seemed like it was one of those, like, because that was on Game Pass as well, right?
Well, they had the trial on Game Pass. You still have to buy the game.
Apparently, it's Omega tier buggy on PC. Is like also one of the big issues.
Yeah, there was issues, but in Metacritic to 80. So obviously, like, I'm not saying be all end all with Metacritic, but you know, if you big game, you Metacritic to 80, it's good, but it's not quite. I mean, it's a brand new IP, right? So people are looking. So I think that's the reason why the talk wasn't there. I mean, if it was like, let's say like 86 or 87, I think more people would have been like, oh wow, okay, what's this? You know, but people just look at scores, right? People just look at the number and then say,
yeah. I don't know how many people like look at scores. I feel like there might just be an issue of people being like, I've already played Monster Hunter. I don't feel the need to play it again. Like I don't know, maybe timing or just in general. There could be a ton of issues.
Talking about like buzz though. like
Yeah,
just like
for
talking
buzz.
about
Well,
it.
but that's the thing with
talking about
Buzz.
it,
I've
that's
been
all.
seeing ads for it everywhere, like stupidly, just all over the
Same.
place. So they're at least trying to get it out there, but there's something just keeping people from even caring about it. Like
It does. I will admit it does feel a lot like Monster Hunter, but not quite as, I guess I'd say, polished, because Evan, you're mentioning the issues when it comes to the game itself just running on PC, whereas Monster Hunter Rise runs incredibly well on PC with the RE engine and all this. So I kind of look at that as a big deterrent for people when you hear that like what a 4080 or something was getting 40 frames at the end, if that, and then you go online, it's even worse.
no, yeah, on Steam, it's always at the top for new release games, but when you highlight it, you immediately see mostly negative for reviews just pop up right next to it.
It's just a lot of the technical issues, and you gotta launch your game in at least somewhat decent shape for it being able to run on PC now, especially with that community continuing to grow more and more. So I feel like it's a game that they will continue to add to, and who knows, maybe in like a year or two, people look back on it and they'll iron that stuff out. But I don't mind seeing more and more Monster Hunter games happen, because obviously there's a good formula there and structure that Capcom's figured out. So
yes, it plays really good. I'm kind of just impressed going into that with like mild expectations. I was actually really impressed by how fun it was.
I would say visually, it's not that impressive at all. It definitely looks like more of a budget kind of Monster Hunter at times. So especially compared to like Monster Hunter World, even, and that came out a while ago.
I like the art of it. Like the graphics and resolution aren't spectacular, but I like the all the creatures we fight are like just messed up wildlife, squirrels that have like infected blooms, and a boar that has like lava dripping out of it.
The boar, that one was cool. That was a cool idea.
Awesome.
Yeah, that was fun. But I might get a chance to go back to it. There's a lot of stuff happening right now. A lot of games coming up that I'll be focusing on. So we'll see. It might be one down the road that I eventually come back to. Sean, you're gonna be up next with your Tales of Symphonia talk this game. We'll put you on deck there. Evan, we have a Discord question over there.
Should Nintendo consider trophies/achievements on their next console?
I got no problem with them doing it.
Didn't they already tinker with it? It just wasn't like it's not
they
a
did something
standard.
like OJ. Didn't they do something like that or close to it with like the Wii U or something?
They have these things called missions that you can do, and if you're talking about like Wii U, they had these things called medals.
That's what it was.
I thought there were a couple Nintendo first parties that dropped on Switch that had trophies in it. It just
They
it
have
wasn't tied.
achievements.
It's not tied to like an
Yeah.
account
They
thing.
do.
Yeah, every game has like, for example, like Fire Emblem Engage has like a bunch of achievements, and like they list them, and then like when you get them, it pops up, and then you get a reward for them. So Astral Chain has that, Bayonetta has that. I mean, all these games already have built-in achievements, but it's just not tied to some. It's not a universal. Every game does this. Like pretty much all the games have achievements, but it's just not like a universal thing, like a universal title system, which is why I think they're not going to do it, because they don't want it. Every developer has to do it, has to be just like this. They want to, I think,
interesting because they didn't really do that as much like a generation or two ago, and now it seems like even Luigi's Mansion had them in there, and I was like, oh, that's they just have achievements. And now they have their global Nintendo account system, so they are kind of, I mean, they're set up if they want to do it. I thought they had commented on it at one point that they didn't necessarily want, I guess, like a bragging system or something.
Yeah, they said that they don't want to like have it like tied to any one type of thing. Like they have certain things that are like they have like the little mission system like on the NSO, which is kind of like that. Like, hey, you can go do certain things and get stuff, but it's not tied to the games. I think something cool to do would be just try to see if you can tie achievements to like the NSO with like the mission stuff to where you can unlock platinum points. I think that might be like get like icons. I think that might be something cool. Like 10 achievements, do something like that. That'd be cool.
Just tie it into that. Yeah. I like the idea of getting something for your achievements outside of just a trophy or an achievement score. The fact that you can turn them in for icons, at least that's something tangible.
I would hope that they would do, and it would be better because then you can actually sell the NSO like more, I guess. Like, hey, if you have this, you can get platinum points or whatever. So that's what I would like, because I was a trophy hunter and achievement hunter back in the day, but it was like they stopped doing like the whole like I used to be like what was they used to do, Dreamcast guy? They had like the avatar stuff, right? Like if you unlock an achievement, you would get like an avatar item.
Or some of them, they give you themes where if you platinumed it, they give you a custom theme.
Yeah, so that stuff was cool, but once I didn't get as much time to play games and all that, and it was just seems like I'm just unlocking stuff for nothing. That's when I kind of like fell out a little bit, like just a little bit with achievements and trophies. So, but I hope they add something towards like tangible, or they add even just like a base achievement system would be cool. You know?
Yeah, I mean, why not? It's if anything, it improves engagement on their platform, and that's what they're trying to do anyway. So it doesn't really hurt anything if they are able to do it, and why not? I'd like them to be
in-game one too. You know?
Yeah. I just like them to be creative about it. That's the thing, because achievements and trophies have gotten kind of stagnant. People have mentioned this, and you feel like Nintendo would come in and do something either really smart or really stupid. But either way, it might shake things up. So that's the only reason I'd like to see it, is kind of their take on it. Do we have another Discord question, Evan?
Do retro game YouTubers contribute to the price increases found everywhere?
I mean, objectively, it seems like
RGT. Huh?
I don't think so. I think OJ, your mic's staticky again.
It's got because I feel like it's specific ones, right? Like you have to have a massive following to do.
And even so, all you're doing is you're bringing awareness to a game, like oh, you know, like I assume we're talking about like hidden gems videos and stuff like that. All you're doing is bringing awareness to a game. The market is going to dictate whether or not people go out and buy it. And if people are going out and buying it, and then sellers are raising the price because people are interested in the game and people are still purchasing the game at higher prices, how is, you know, it probably plays a small role, but I think it's way overblown.
I think I would say it's 80% of it, but I don't think it's anybody's fault. I don't like the word fault, because it's the thing of that we now have a bigger microphone. So if there is like a really cool game on Game Boy that you're obsessed with that currently is cheap, and then you make a video that even gets a couple 100,000 views, and there's only 4 copies of it on eBay, all 4 are going to sell. And the next time they're listed, that price is going to go up. And when people search it, it's going to bring up that same video. So it's like, it's not that it's anybody's fault. It is just, you know, market sitting supply demand. But I do think that honestly, retro gaming YouTubers are sort of setting a higher price incidentally.
We should, someone should try to run an experiment on that.
They did.
Oh, did they?
Super Nintendo does a show called Retronomics where he does it, and like the data is there's no data to really back it up.
Well, no, you wouldn't do it as obvious. Basically, you'd try to get a bunch of people together, I guess, and try to have one game in particular as part of these hidden gem videos, and just everyone has it for some reason in their list, and then you just observe the market over the next month. So, for example, you do like the best retro games you missed or something on the PS2, and everyone puts Mace Griffin Bounty Hunter in there for no reason.
Right.
Everyone has it as number 5, 6, or 7 or something.
That's manipulation.
I would be curious, but that would be the test to see if it's actually a thing. And if it doesn't, then there you go. It's disproven.
What's that stupid bunny Buck Rogers? It's a Buck Rogers NES game. Let's do that. Let's make
there Buck Rogers. That's you disprove it right there, because the game has no value. It's a terrible title. It's not good. That's a game we used to try to sell way back in the day when we worked at GameStop. We would always try to sell it to people.
You're gonna lie to people to try to manipulate a market price to prove a point. And don't you think people would get upset with you?
Not when the data came out.
Well, I didn't tell them to buy it. I just said it was number 7 on a list of some ambiguous PS2 game list.
Top 10 games that barely make me vomit. Number 2 will make you puke.
Well, okay, what if you do the worst games on the PS2 and you're very upfront about it, but everyone puts that Mace Griffin game on there? And then it still makes the price. Because I feel like even if you make a list of bad games, it still goes up because it's bad.
Yeah, the angry video game nerd effect.
So then nobody should ever talk about video games. Then.
See, now you're figuring it out.
Well, no, I'm saying I disagree with all what you're saying. I was making a generalized joke statement.
But you also sound like you're taking this like personally. We're not saying that it's anybody's fault. I'm just saying it's that, you know, if people weren't talking about these games, there's definitely, I mean, look at the rise of YouTube views and the price of retro games. That charts match each other perfectly. So even if there's not correlation, there may be causation on some degree.
But then again, it's raising awareness. What people do with that awareness is up to them.
You know, you can just emulate everything now.
Right.
Sean,
I blame Sean.
I feel like you're agreeing with me and then saying you disagree. So we're saying that people talking about the games is making the prices go up, and then you're saying no after you're saying the same thing.
No.
The real question is Mace
blaming
Griffin
all you
Bounty Hunter a
guys.
game we can actually raise the price on?
I'm blaming everybody. It's my
Currently at $4.97 complete.
You know, one person did tell me I was a problem raising.
The game is really bad. No one buy Mace Griffin. No one buy it. I remember that game because we'd always have to do that. What was you'd have to, you know what I'm talking about, Sean, at GameStop, where it would come up and it would say you need to scan everything in the drawer and everything on the wall, and then whatever's not matching, it'll print out cover art for all of it so you can populate the wall. And we'd have to go through the dollar bin. And Mace Griffin, we had 20 copies of this game, and I know we always had 20 copies.
Oh, we didn't have to. Yeah, we didn't have to. We didn't have to print new things. We could just write out the marker and use a generic GameStop case.
It automatically printed when it's like, you don't have these, and it's like, oh, come on, and it'll just start printing them. And we had one of those district managers that would come in and check to make sure you did it. So
what an asshole.
That was fun. You have another Discord question, Evan?
How do you all preserve old game guides while still being able to use them?
I have them in a tote that I haven't opened up in eons.
Yeah, but then you're not using them.
Yeah, who's using a game guide? You just go on the internet.
I like them. A lot of those old game guys are actually dog shit, though, honestly.
Yeah, there's tons of wrong information in a lot of those.
Well, wrong information because those guides were written off beta versions, so that before the games are incomplete or the fonts are small and weird. I decided to beat Metroid Prime step by step using my original Metroid Prime strategy guide. And it's written in the most sloppy. It'll be like 9 little circular text boxes with every step, but with no photographs. Like, now go back to the original furnace.
There's
I
some
like
good videos where people will take the strategy guide and they'll play the game exactly.
That's what I was just about to say. I don't remember the channel name, but there's some guy who plays like the Pokemon games the way Nintendo or Pokemon wanted you to, and he goes by the guide to play them. Those videos are really good.
Those are
good. Let me find out the guy's channel.
And see, we got that. The guides, like, they do some weird stuff in there that it feels really like off most times. So
the original World of Warcraft strategy guide said that orcs should never be warriors because they have the worst base stats, which is completely wrong. It's the best base stats, and it's like, what is this based on? So everybody used to make fun of the super terrible old manuals.
The channel's called Papa C.
There you go. Go check that out. That was it. They did them on like the Pokemon games, right? I remember seeing that.
Beating Pokemon, how Nintendo intended it.
Yes,
they have a whole series with that. So good stuff. Good stuff.
But on the subject of that question, I have a huge retro strategy guide collection. I just keep them in a closet, carefully stored on a shelf. And in general, I don't know. I ran a bookstore for like 10 years. In my experience, as long as you keep them in a cool, dry place, you can actually read them and leaf through them quite a bit. As long as you're not throwing them around or like letting them get dusty and stuff, those will last forever.
All right, Sean. Sell us on Tales of Symphonia.
The base.
You got it on the Switch.
The base game is a great game.
Thank you.
What about the not base game?
There's some questionable decisions.
I picked it up on the play. I got the physical copy on the PlayStation 4 because the PlayStation version doesn't have like all the weird things going on in it.
All the versions are bad.
Well, yeah, but the Switch version is,
I wouldn't
like,
say
what happened.
I wouldn't say bad. I would say disappointing based on the source material, because underneath technical issues, there's still a fan-fucking-tastic game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but like the Switch version, the loading times are somehow longer than the GameCube, which is very weird.
There's bigger issues.
I don't know.
So many. There's too many problems with this game.
Yeah, I don't. How did they do this? How are you going to do this to Tales of Symphonia?
How are they going to do this to this? This was the best selling Tales game. This was the best one. This is one of the highest rated Tales games ever. How did they do this? Why did they butcher my boy Lloyd like this?
They forgot to put the battle transition animation in, so it just, when you're in the field and you run into a battle, it just goes to a black screen and then goes right up to the battle.
Missing audio, certain audio cues and audio dialogues on Switch.
And figuring out how to
and
make the load times longer. Those
the voice acting is kind of weird. Like some of it sounds like it's hard to explain, but it's like some of it is a little bit quieter and some of it's a little bit more muffled than other vocal cues. Like I just don't understand why they chose the inferior version to remaster.
Apparently they lost the source code of the game.
Well, fucking Christ.
That's sad.
Download it on a fucking emulator and just figure it out that way.
Apparently the source code they lost was needed for that 60 frames version because from what I've seen online, people are mentioning that if you try to push the current one up to 60, it actually makes it just run faster, like it fast forwards and stuff because the animations are tied to the frame rate it's a shame. It's a shame.
It's a shame. It really is, man. It's a good game. I agree with Sean. I like it quite a bit, but it's very unfortunate.
The game is very good at its core, but it is still down to the GameCube version being like the one to play, which I guess you could technically emulate that one.
You can also
Dolphin.
You can get the Steam version too.
I think the Steam version's locked at 32.
They're all at 30.
Isn't that crazy? On PC they locked it at 30.
I'm not talking about the remaster. I'm talking about the vanilla.
Oh, I wonder if that one one locked at 30 also?
No, it's not.
Oh, okay.
A friend of mine was basing it on what a friend told me, but yeah, he told me that it's not locked at that because he was like, I don't know why people are going to buy this when they could buy the vanilla version for like $12. I think it was.
Well, we gotta be careful. We're gonna jack up the price if we talk about the game too much.
Well, that's
I already got
it. That doesn't.
I have it too. Yeah,
I'm good.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but Tales of Vesperia is pretty good if you want to get that one.
I had that mess up my save file.
Oh,
oh man,
I know.
Yeah.
The game it's still good. I played it a bit on the PS4 when I picked it up on Friday.
I want that GameCube still so bad.
But
the Symphonia GameCube.
Oh, dude, how much is that now? That one was pretty expensive before.
Probably a decent bit still.
The game's still good. It's a shame. I mean, it really is just they just upscaled it. They didn't do anything with texture work or any of that. So if you have it on the PlayStation 4 through the PS5, it looks like a cleaner version of the GameCube version, PS2 version, I guess.
That's a game though that you like. I know. Look, I'm not trying to get into somebody else's pockets and all whatever in terms of but that's a game like you remake.
Nah, you can tell Bandai to drop the money. Come on.
Yeah, that's like a game that one you remake that one.
Yeah.
You don't just no big deal. Like I can understand with Vesperia. I can understand with maybe Tales of Heart like R or whatever. Some of the other ones, but Symphonia is not one that you just. And I know that'd be difficult, but like after seeing Crisis Core, they're the same price, man. Like and Metroid Prime and Crisis Core, and then you look at this and you're like, oh, hold up here.
I also feel like part of the problem is the fact that Metroid Prime Remastered came out of nowhere at $40 as well, and it's kind of like holy shit, like remaster versus remaster from the GameCube era, and then you see what Bandai Namco is doing with Baten Kaitos, and it's like they're actually somewhat trying with that game, and it's like fuck that game, it's a card game. Tales of Symphonia is actually
watching you if you buy that. I'm watching you. I'm watching. Like, I got a Midnight Suns.
John, you could fucking look. I do not play card-based combat games,
baby. That game.
Not playing the Pokemon trading card game when that drops on NSO.
Damn.
No, I'm not.
I'm gonna see Sean with the thumbnail where he's playing the Switch game.
I do not do any.
It's gonna be that thumbnail where he's leaned into the camera and there's cards exploding behind him.
I like the thumbnail where he points at you because, like you did, there's something funny's happening. You got you. I like that one.
That's a good one.
I like the wizard ball ones where you're looking.
Oh yeah, those are the predictions.
Pondering the sphere.
Do you actually just have that like in your room ready to go?
Oh, he's got a stock ready to go.
What are you talking about?
He's just holding his hands up. It's the most.
It's not a real crystal ball.
He's got to have the Miss Cleo ball ready to go.
Hey, you asked me how I made the game case so large when I was holding it. I was asking the crystal ball.
Well, because you weren't holding it. It was hovering.
It's so big.
It was hovering on your hand.
Sean doesn't have a production budget. Everything behind him is clearly a green screen.
Yeah, this is all fake. I sold it all for
Cigarette.
blood pressure medicine.
Let's go.
It's like kind of no cap on that one, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
I respect the hustle.
Okay, so Bandai Namco needs to get it together because this is a travesty what they did to Symphonia. What a shame.
I'll have a video up tomorrow showcasing some of the issues.
Yeah, go watch Sean's video. Try not to cry. That is definitely remake
Well,
territory.
you got to remember though, a
No.
lot of people. I mean, this game's over 20 years old. A lot of people, this will be their first time playing it, so they don't necessarily know any better.
Big
They don't-
misstep then. Big
Yeah.
misstep. Remake would have been it. Even if it's a full $60 on that, but they actually put the effort into it and it looks good and plays
That'd
well.
have been- no, that'd have been a tough.
Yeah,
sell,
I think
feel.
that's a bad
Easy
idea.
pickup.
Like, if this is their first time getting into it and this is what's happening, that's a bad look for the Tales series going forward. Whereas if you pick up Crisis Core and that's your first time, you're thinking, oh wow, I want to get more into Final Fantasy. Now you got Final Fantasy 16, you got the remake part 2 dropping. So to me, this is only going to damage the Tales brand more than make things better.
Shame. Yeah, Sean had never played Crisis Core. Then he messaged and was like, why didn't you ever tell me this game is this good?
He never. Yeah,
Look
John
at
never tells me
this guy.
anything.
It's
this
not
guy.
that good compared to the remaster is considerably better than the original game.
Crisis Core.
Considerably.
Yeah. That's the first time he played it. He played the
And
remake.
that's
That was
good.
it. And I'm like, yes, I've told you so many times this game is good.
He's never told me that. in
Oh
his
my
life.
gosh.
John lies a lot.
It's the old retcon John. That's what we
I
call
feel
him
like
behind the scenes.
I feel like there are podcast episodes where I told you it had like the best ending ever.
No, that's
Best
like
ending
it's okay.
ever is a bit far, but it is great.
It is a very good ending.
No,
good
I
idea.
remember. Wait a minute. I do remember, John. You told him that it was when we were talking about FF7 remake and what
Yep.
could happen in Crisis Core. Yeah, he did.
John the leprechaun went
I-
to school. with
I
no
feel like
clothes
people
on.
can go pull that up. All the podcasts are out there. Someone will find it.
Yeah,
You
FF7
Northerners have-
remake, when we were talking about that, like when we were discussing it, because Sean, you played that game too. I remember you were talking about you played it.
Mm-hmm.
What game?
FF7 remake.
Oh yeah. We beat that.
And John was talking, and we were talking about like the story stuff, and then you got
I
bored,
don't recall any of this.
and like you fell asleep, and you were like you leaned back in your chair. I remember it.
That doesn't even sound like me.
Evan, you have a Discord question over there for us.
I guess on the Tales of Symphonia topic, would Nintendo allow third parties to use their GameCube and Wii emulators? Which, I mean, this person's saying that maybe if they just put the old one in the emulator and put it out, people would have liked it a lot more.
I mean, it's apples and oranges, though. We're not, they remastered it, so it's not.
Did they though?
Well, I'm sure they. I mean,
Is it what do you call it? Is it a demaster? Would you call it that?
A demake?
A demake, yeah, demake.
remake? Maybe I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's got
it's-
some things better.
I don't know.
I
some
mean-
of those reviews were like, "What do you call it if it's actually worse than the original one?"
Like
I don't know.
the textures are crispier on the characters.
Well, yeah, that's right. They're smoothed out. Yeah, it's like they put anti-aliasing on.
So there's that's the remake. Oh, no,
That's-
that's the
Well,
remaster.
I heard that like Bandai Namco's whole reasoning, they just wanted people to play the game. They just wanted to get the game out on more systems. Like it wasn't a matter of like making a great remaster. And that's kind of a scary thing moving forward
that sounds
because
scary.
I mean, you're going to have a lot of these companies trying to do the same thing, especially if this is successful, which I don't think it will be. It's kind of a niche game to begin with, but you never know.
It'll be mildly successful, especially when price drops hit. Like when it price drops, people will pick it up because Tales games are usually successful to them. Not like it's gonna sell like millions of copies, but it'll be good. I mean, if they get 500,000 off this, they'll be like, cool.
Yeah, I mean, eventually it'll go to $20 or $15
Yeah.
on like a Black Friday or just over the course of the
'Cause-
year, and then it's like, all right, yeah, $15, and go for it.
Vesperia did over 1 million.
Yeah,
so-
yeah, yep.
Is that across all platforms though?
Yeah, on all platforms.
Okay.
I mean, and that was when they announced. I mean, it's probably way more than that now, especially with the price drops. But Vesperia did very well. Like at the beginning was rough, but afterwards, because like it didn't like the sales charts weren't anything super great. But later it picked up sales later, and then they were like, oh, 1 million sales across all platforms. So I think Symphonia can have a similar type of thing, but they need some patches. Vesperia had some issues at launch, not as bad as this, but they need to get some patches going, maybe.
We're going to talk about the Sony State of Play. that is apparently this thing's rumored before the end of February, at least according to Jeff Grubb, expecting it to happen at the end of this month. Which, hey, Jeff Grubb stock back up after that Metroid Prime remaster dropped. People are very excited about all of that, and he's starting to drop information all over the place now. One of which being the state of play, and then a larger showcase, most likely before the E3 timeframe, so maybe like end of May is what we're thinking. Which I think that lines up for him. But a state of play, if it was going to happen in the last full week of February, I guess it would be this week coming up. Otherwise, maybe on the 28th. That'd be kind of strange to drop it on the 28th on that Tuesday. So let's just look towards maybe this week, and it being a smaller state of play, apparently one you definitely want to rein your expectations in. I was trying to figure out what they would exactly even show here that would be rein your expectations in, and the only thing I come up with is PSVR 2 stuff.
I think PSVR 2 is not going to be there at all. I think they're really going to do, I think it's going to be three big things. I have three predictions.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a lot of Spider-Man 2 stuff, because they've really been focusing the heck out of Spider-Man 2 in all their commercials, all that live from PlayStation stuff. I think they're going to show us another decently long gameplay clip for Final Fantasy 16, and they're going to end with a lot of all that gameplay they've been showing for Resident Evil 4 Remake, because PlayStation has the ad rights to that game, and they're going to end it by saying there's a PS5 demo available now for the Resident Evil 4 Remake. It's
I
gonna be
like
great.
I like the demo. That is good. That is a good state of play.
That's a big state of play.
The only reason I would say smaller is because I think all those things are going to be like 6 or 7 minutes. I have like, I think 18 minutes. I think it's going to be like I honestly think this is going to be less than a 25-minute show.
If they show that, people will be happy.
I'll be skeeting.
I'm because they could show some PSVR 2 stuff there, just to, like, I don't say smaller games, but maybe the indie titles. Like they said, they showed up to CES and mentioned Beat Saber. That sounds like something they could show up there and be like, here's this Beat Saber level game for PSVR 2. They do have to, now that the game's going to be out, or the system's going to be out this week, which who's getting PS4? I'm getting it. Max, are you getting it? PSVR 2?
Nah.
Okay. Are you picking up, Sean?
Yeah, I got one coming.
You got one. Okay. Jordan, you got one coming?
Not at launch. No.
Okay. And then OJ, are you picking one up, OJ?
No, I get motion sickness even with first-person shooter games.
Okay.
So I have trouble with VR and all that. Like I can't play for longer than 10 minutes before I get queasy.
We'll have some coverage next weekend on it then, because I don't know. Nate's getting it too.
I don't know if mine's coming in this week.
That's the thing. It's definitely a roll of the dice right now. I don't know if mine's going to be in this week either, even though they've already they charged me. So.
Did they send you an email though? Or anything?
I don't know if they sent me. I just saw that they had charged me, so I'm like, oh, okay, I guess it's coming then. I don't know. Eventually, they send you a tracking number with it though. So for my DualSense Edge, they sent me the tracking number 2 days before it showed up, so it was pretty quick.
They sent me nothing for my DualSense. They sent me nothing. It just
I got like a whole email and everything for it. So I assume they're going to do something similar. So I'm hoping I have it at least by Friday, so I can have a day to just mess around with it and at least have some stuff to go over on Saturday. But I'm mostly going to do GT7, Resident Evil Village, and then Horizon. Call them out. And those will be my three that I'm going to go for. But I kind of feel like we're going to start seeing more and more VR games in these state of plays and showcases. There's going to be like a section where like, all right, here comes VR stuff. And then I already know 80% of the audience is going to be like, okay.
So when do we take our pee break?
Wednesday. Okay, all right. Now we're on the PS5 stuff. All right, good. So that's kind of why I'm thinking, okay, rein in expectations. But I love the idea, Max, of a Resident Evil 4 demo. I think that's a great idea to do.
I bet anything.
I bet
anything. That's the number one thing. The rest of shit I may be wrong on. I definitely think we're getting that.
I feel like that's an announcement that could, if the state of play happens and there's a lot of like announcements where everyone's like, okay, I guess, all right, you get that kind of announcement at the end. I think it would save the state of play for a lot of people. Like, that'd be that big announcement at the end that everyone get excited for. So I just
having Spider-Man 2 there, people would be like, great.
Oh yeah, if they have Spider-Man 2, that's big.
Just great. I think it all takes, man. All you need is a game or two.
I kind of feel like you got to save that for the showcase though, like in May, and then drop the release date.
Yeah. The only reason I think they'd show it is I feel like it'd be the fact that we've seen nothing really about it other than that original 45-second tease, and it comes out here theoretically in 6 months. I just feel like they're going to come out at some point and go, okay, here's even 90 seconds of Peter Parker swinging around with Miles Morales, or, you know, Venom donkey punching him or something.
Or maybe showing something how it's going to be a bit different.
Yeah.
But then again, I don't know. Is it maybe too soon? A lot of companies seem to wait, you know, till like 2-3 months out from the release of the game to really showcase something. But I do feel like we haven't seen anything from Spider-Man 2, because everything that we saw was just like a CGI sort of thing. You could show something with Venom in it, maybe a little teaser trailer. I mean, look at Tears of the Kingdom. They still have, you know, still are blue balling the fuck out of you with that game, and that game comes out in roughly 3 months, a little under 3 months now. So,
well, there's a bunch of rumors that I mean, there's tons of rumors that Spider-Man 2 is going to have some sort of co-op. So I honestly feel like even if the trailer just show even 45 seconds of Spider-Man 2 and say, buy a PlayStation 5 now because you're going to be playing it with your friends, I feel like that would be a huge win.
Okay. I like the idea of that, showing co-op, or even just more of the characters or villains that'll be in the game, just to kind of set that in motion. Because you feel like they do want a pretty big marketing push for Spider-Man. That might be 6 or 7 months of just showcasing it. So yeah, maybe you have a state of play that shows off more Spider-Man 2, and then you show it again at the showcase, and then you have the big release in September.
Yeah.
October, something like that.
Forgot I was wearing my Spider-Man shirt.
They showed Deathloop like 15 times.
They did.
Yeah, I know, right?
Deathloop was constant. It was always there. So, and I mean, they technically showed Spider-Man 2018. They showed that at 3 E3s in a row.
Yeah. Horizon, the original Horizon, they showed that at like 3 E3s. Because I remember going to E3 and I remember seeing it every single year. I remember seeing it there, whatever. Either it was not playable, then whatever. So, I mean,
see, because I don't know if they would show up with Blue Point, for example, the state of play, or Sucker Punch, or any of these studios they have currently working on stuff. I feel like all that would be a big push at their showcase, where it's just like reveal after reveal after reveal. So maybe Team Asobi shows up with a VR game. There you go. You could do that at the state of play. That I feel like Team Asobi is probably going to work on a VR title and then probably a separate game as well. So they might do an Astrobot follow up. That'll probably sell it.
You see that weird LinkedIn listing where it looks like they bought Moonstruck or whatever, the people who made
Ballistic
Until
Moon.
Dawn. Ballistic Moon, yeah. So I think they bought them to make PSVR games.
Yeah, Ballistic Moon. There's a filing that people found, and I think that was actually might have been a message or super chat here. Yeah, that's interesting. We can talk about that when I get to it. But that's an interesting one. I even like Twisted Metal. That's probably all these things are showcase materials. I'm just thinking of the smaller announcements that would come through here. But you know, I wouldn't be shocked if we got a state of play, like a smaller one, announced this week, maybe on like Tuesday for a Wednesday or for a Thursday. So look out for that.
I'm getting oral surgery on Thursday, so let's hope it lands on Wednesday.
Yeah, well, it could be Thursday. I mean, it might do that. They might drop that RE4 demo immediately too. So,
oh god, that'd be the worst. I mean, literally, if that happens, I'm gonna have the worst video where I'm like, "Hello, Grandma, we'll play a whole game."
You'll be okay, man.
Yeah, that'd be all right.
Yeah,
all right.
Trust me, the hype will take over. Because I had the same. The hype will take over, bro. I was getting my mouth worked on all. What was it? Was it 2021 and a bit of 2022? And there would be times my mouth be hurting like hell. Like it would be straight up, like just like 7 out of 10 pain, bro. Like, and I'd still be like, oh, let's talk about this direct, or let's talk about this whatever. You know,
just hold an ice pack on my face from like today we're talking about video games.
I would have to ice beforehand. You know.
I'm gonna go over to some of the super chats here. I want to give a big shout out to John O, who said, glad to catch you off for a few minutes. OJ, great pre-show. Sean, good to see you on the up and up. John, stop lying. DCG, looking forward to see what game you throttle the price of. And Jordan, I'm looking forward to the 7-hour video. That's dedication. Have a good night, y'all. Shout out to John O over there. Big shout outs.
Try to
Big shout
binge
out
it
to
in
John
one
O.
go. Just do it.
Yeah. Jeez.
If I can throttle the price, I want to jack up the price of the original Grandia because I think it's a masterpiece and it's not expensive enough. So I'm gonna start simping for Grandia.
There you go.
I'm gonna jack up the price of Panzer Dragoon Saga. That's what
I got dibs on Chameleon Twist 1 and 2.
Like twist.
I think Panzer Dragoon Saga is cheap. I want it to be more expensive.
$800.
Can go over some of the super chats here. Veluxian says, I forgot just how hard it was to get 3 stars on a cup in Mario Kart Super Circuit. Oof, Super Circuit. The worst Mario Kart.
Boo! I love that game.
Kevin says, Jordan, it took me about 3 days to finish the entire Hey Arnold video. They finished the entire thing. 10 out of 10 started playing the GBA game because of your video.
I'll say appreciate it. Thanks for watching.
Cookie says, hey guys, can I ask you what's wrong with DK Oldies? They are so shady and weird. The big thing right now apparently is that they are selling all their systems as refurbished. Although, and they're definitely not. A lot of them are not. They're used. There's a difference between the two of those. So I feel like there's a lot of videos that have been made on them now. I did one today, just kind of going over my thoughts on it.
They simply have a different definition of refurbished.
Yeah,
guys, all right?
Must be. Sean did the opposite though. He sold stuff to him. He was very happy with it.
Yes, I was.
So
I might do it again.
there you go. There you go. Tijo says Xenoblade 3 DLC came out and certain highly requested costumes from the story aren't there. Why, OJ?
Highly requested costumes from the story aren't there. Did they? Those costumes aren't in there.
Just
they're
said
going to be in there.
certain highly requested costumes in the story aren't there.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about, buddy.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Andrew says new Spawncast and I'm having fufu for the first time. Gonna be a good night.
The fuck is
Shout out to
fufu?
Andrew.
So like fucking?
It might be a type of food, Sean. You don't know.
Did he say
Is it?
fufu?
Fufu. Yeah.
Is okay. There's a Nigerian dish called fufu.
Oh.
There we go.
So I don't know if he's talking about that or not.
Gamer says, I just got the steelbooks for all 3 Switch Xeno games, and I was wondering the best way to display them. How does RPG 85 display all a Xeno game?
In the trash. Actually, they're
oh no.
all my big box games are in totes. Still.
Okay.
But I don't really have.
Big Xeno fan too, remember? Xenoblade
Yeah.
1 and Xenoblade X. Big Xeno fan.
I am. I got the Wii version over here. I have the
Big
3DS.
Xeno fan.
3DS version right here. 3DS version. New 3DS exclusive.
What do you think about Shulk coming back to Xenoblade?
Fuck Shulk. The Monado. Shut up. God
That's how you know he's
damn.
not a Xenoblade fan. He just said fuck Shulk.
X was my favorite.
Everybody loves Shulk.
Xbox has no
like a
games. Xbox has no games says, what's the cast's favorite PS2 RPG? Oh, that went in a different direction than I thought it would.
I was about to say that was actually
Yeah. Oh,
polite.
all right. Very nice. Very nice. I'm boring. I'm going to go with Final Fantasy X just because of the impact that had at the time.
I want to say Final Fantasy X, but since you picked it, I'll say Grandia 2. Even though
Fuck you.
Grandia 2 is a little bit better on Dreamcast, but the version they put on PlayStation is still pretty good.
That's what I was gonna say.
Damn, eat my fucking shit then, bitch.
God of War 2, man. I just think that was just
Solid
the pinnacle.
RPG choice.
Oh, it has to be RPG?
They said favorite PS2 RPG.
Oh, I thought he just said PS2 game. My
What?
bad.
I mean,
Oh,
you're
God.
playing a role, and it's just
Yeah.
Kratos.
Kratos is playing the role of ultimate alpha male.
There's an argument there.
No, Dragon Quest 7.
Okay.
You said that.
I would have gone Dragon. I like Dragon Quest 8 a lot, actually. That was a good one.
I like 8 as well.
Dragon Quest 8 was good.
I'll do it the Dark Cloud games.
Okay.
Oh, wait, am I saying 8? What am I getting?
Eight's the one. The Dragon Quest 7 was on the PS1 from what I remember.
bad.
Dragon Quest 8 was on the PS2.
I'm old. I can't remember things. Dragon Quest 8.
Is it an RPG or a JRPG?
They just said RPG.
Then I'll go with the Bard's Tale. I love that fucking game.
Okay.
I beat every game y'all have listed. I actually beat a bunch of those last year, and I never played Bard's Tale. I played because they did that re-release of it recently.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's a fun game. It's got good humor.
It's very goofy. I liked
Yeah.
it.
Jimmy says, have you all seen Sony bought Ballistic Moon? It was confirmed by a financial company in London stock market. So the thing that's weird about Ballistic Moon is this is another studio that Sony bought that was only founded a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So they did it with Haven. Now they're with Ballistic Moon, and these are studios that haven't actually produced anything, from what I remember.
Produce games anymore, man. It's all about who you are. Wait, the
all about
Bard's Tale is on the Switch?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's been there
That's
for a
where I
while.
isn't it?
Wow.
Isn't it called something silly like remastered edition or something?
I might have to buy that if it's cheap.
I don't think it's very expensive. I thought it was like less than $10.
Yeah.
$20, Jonathan.
Oh, you know what? Maybe I saw it on sale.
The mini lies.
I
of
feel like that's been on
Spawn
sale a lot.
Seriously, it's all the man does is lie. Maybe if the donos are good tonight on the after show.
I feel like that has been on sale multiple times now. Who makes that? Who published that?
It's $9. It's $6 on eBay on the PS2 Bard's Tale.
No, I'm talking about the Switch version.
I don't
Just 'cause
understand.
wanna play it
I'm looking at my physical copy right now.
Exile or in Exile Entertainment. INXILE.
In Exile.
No, it's a good game. It's a good game.
It sucks on purpose, which makes it good.
It looks like complete trash, but I'll take your word for it.
Bard's Tale was good. That was on
It's really good.
the OG Xbox also.
Oh, the Xbox and PlayStation.
I feel like I played it on the Xbox back in the day.
I bet it's good.
I might.
I paid 45 cents for this copy of PlayStation.
Jordan's got to go.
Got a bargain.
See you,
bro.
Jordan. Thanks for joining us, dude.
Yep, dipping out. Thanks for having me. Have a good night, everyone. And
Get some sleep,
I'll
brother.
see you next week. All right.
Bumblebee tuna.
What the fuck?
Remember in Ace Ventura?
Bumblebee tuna.
Bumblebee tuna.
Oh,
Bumblebee
okay.
tuna.
Thank you. All right.
You gotta
Yeah,
get
you-
solid white albacore. It's just expensive, dude. But it has like hardly any sodium in it. The
Did you-
regular stuff has a lot.
Did you
You
say
gotta
there
get
was going to
it on
be
water,
a?
right? It's on water.
Yeah,
It's on water. Hopefully.
yep. Tuna and water. Solid white albacore. Gold label.
Did you say it is going to be an after show tonight, Sean?
Yeah, I'll run it for
There
a
you
little
go.
bit.
The after show returns. There you go. This is Kyle says, question for everyone: what's your most anticipated new game in a franchise, and why is it Persona 6? Love the show. New game in a
Kyle
franchise.
should be fucking
Most-
drinking a Monster Energy.
Most
We don't have
anticipated right
Ford
now.
truck.
We don't have Persona 6 announced yet.
Yeah, it's not announced, but for me, Tears of the Kingdom right now is my most
I
anticipated.
feel like a lot of people are going to say Tears of the Kingdom right now.
I will say Final Fantasy
I'm-
16,
I am
but
so close between the two of them, I will admit.
FF16 has my interest, but there's so many rumors about a Final Fantasy 9 remake, and the main leak keeps saying it's not what you expect. So I think it's going to be like the original game with maybe still pre-rendered backgrounds, but just looking better. It's not going to be a full-blown remake. I think I'm most curious about that. Of all games that don't quite exist yet, I'm most curious about whatever the hell that ends up being.
Nuisance says, shout out to Dreamcast guy, aka PlayStation guy, out here spreading fake news. I respect the hustle, bro.
Hell yeah, brother. Fuck the police.
Joe says, assuming it actually exists, what is the soonest you all think Nintendo could announce and release the Wind Waker Twilight Princess bundle post Tears of the Kingdom? Thanks.
Winter.
Yeah, I mean, that went that was like right there with that Metroid Prime remastered stuff.
Yeah.
So
I think that was a test to see how, not only how people reacted to it, how it sold, how the physical copies did coming out later. Did it impact anything? And I think since people are obviously supporting Metroid Prime Remastered, it gives them more faith to do things like that, which is a good thing.
Would they not have faith? I mean, that seems like a no-brainer.
I think Nintendo overanalyzes way too much stuff for their own good.
I don't know.
They could drop
They've been re-releasing everything for the most part, though.
I mean, they're just like, look at all these people who have a Switch. Let's just force feed everything to them.
Yeah.
Let's give them everything. Give it all to them.
Dude, they put out Tokyo Mirage Sessions. Like, nobody even asked.
That was
for that.
kind of random, but
Yeah,
hey, why not?
They were
Let's see what
putting
happens.
everything. Like, it just seemed like they were just, you get this, Donkey Kong.
I feel like there is very little risk right now because of how many people have a Switch and how well software attaches to those systems. They're just like, just move everything we can from the Wii U over. And technically, Twilight Princess and Wind Waker were Wii U releases, so they could bundle them, drop them $60. I feel like those would do better than they should for how many times they've
do better
released
than
them.
everything from the Wii, for almost everything outside of like Mario. You know,
No,
it would do pretty. It would do better than pretty much. It would do better than like Donkey Kong. It would do better than Tokyo Mirage. It would do better than most of the games that have came out from the Wii U to the Switch.
I mean, let's be real. I'd buy it again. I'd buy Wind Waker again.
Oh yeah, me too.
Oh man. This is from Numa. Says recently watched one of Spawn's older videos where he was really fat. Mad props to you, Spawn, for how far you personally and your channel has come. Thank you, Numa. Thank you. V2 says, thank you, RGT, for inspiring me to quit smoking vaping. It's been 2 weeks so far.
Good job.
Wow. Good job, B2.
Speaking of B, I'm vaping B12.
Oh, wait, hold on. They just said they gave it. Wait, what?
No, I have not fully quit vaping yet. I gotta have something. This is B12. It's vitamins.
Okay.
Does that work? You can
how they
inhale
Smoking Vita water?
Is that how they sold it to you?
Vita smoke?
No,
these are actually vitamins.
Yeah, no, right. It is vitamins. There's no nicotine or anything in it. It's just B12 because they did a study where B12 is actually inhaled more effectively than taken orally.
What the fuck?
Nerd says, do you think we will see another true portable system from Nintendo? The Switch Lite is okay, but it's not exactly easy to put in your pocket. Like a small system? They released the Game & Watch. Got the Zelda Game & Watch.
I don't think so.
I think they're content with their Switch lineup being like a hybrid. Although I wouldn't mind if they did some really small version of it, but I don't know if we'll ever get there. This is from Dark Dream. Says, so RGT, if you have been invited to Geeks and Gamers Tuesday night's main event, do you plan on joining and chatting and just having a fun time? Jeremy said he communicated about it, I think. Don't know anything about that, Sean. That's from Dark Dreams.
Was it via email? I'm not sure how communication was sent, but this is all new information in my world.
Okay. So. There you go. I passed it along to him, Dark Dreams. There you go. Buck says, DCG, Xbox have renamed you PlayStation guy.
Okay.
You're a PlayStation guy.
Xbox guys coming after you over the whole Redfall situation. Is that
I put like 80% of my video was about how I guess always online games feel weird because even if they give you a disc, and in this case, originally they were saying Redfall was not going to come with the disc, so I made a video about that. Yeah. But the whole situation is messy. But yeah, people are mad that I even reported on it. But yep. Redfall does have a disc in the box. Congrats.
I have a feeling it's going to be a disc that has basically an install, like a launcher
2 megabyte
on it.
install.
I think it's going to be the Call of Duty situation where it's like 70
and
to 100
Halo.
megabytes, and Halo had half the game, if that, on it. Yeah, you had to download a lot of it.
It seems like it's going to be that because of the always online persistence. They're telling you that. So yeah.
But hey, guys, we're all Xbots. We're not allowed to talk about the obvious truth and historical track record here.
Look, listen, I watched the vid and everything, and I get it. You know, I get why some people might be a little upset, but let's wait and see, because that could be like nothing on that disc. You know, that could be.
And I still said, even in the video, I said I'm playing Redfall. We're actually probably going to play Redfall together because I play a lot of co-op with y'all. I'm excited for Redfall. It actually comes out near my birthday, but for some reason the comment section is like, he wants Redfall to fail. It's like,
I don't even know why you would put all the info on the disc anyway, because it's always online, so you would need the servers to be up anyway for it to work, and you have to be connected to the internet, so they'll just push patches and downloads either way. So
how big is that game going to be? It's going to be it'll
probably be like 50 or 60 gigabytes, I would assume.
So
minimum,
really I have my questions whether they're going to put that full, but like I said, we have to wait and see. I mean, for right now, they did say there's a disc, but they didn't say if the whole game, they didn't say anything about like the whole game being on it. Did they say anything like that?
No, they didn't say like that.
Well, and the disc just gets you into the servers. I mean, that's how these always online games work. So it's like, even if you install it, it's not like the game exists without the servers anyways.
Yeah. So it's, I mean, let's be like, I'm going to just download it on Game Pass when it comes out.
Yep.
That's what Sean said immediately, right? You're like, is anyone buying that at retail?
No one's buying it.
I'm sure someone will, but for me, my immediate thought was, I might if it was really good and like it's down the road for $10 on sale, but it's on Game Pass and I subscribe to Game Pass, so I'll just go on there. Seems pretty straightforward to me. Like Atomic Heart's out next week. I'm just downloading Game Pass right away. So this is from Rand says, how does the game that started out as a GameCube exclusive run the worst on the Switch? Good question. Bandai Namco losing that source code, man. It just wasn't a great outing by them, unfortunately. Not a good outing.
Yeah, it's not. It's a port. It's not a great remaster.
What a shame.
They're taking code from other systems. When you take code from other systems, you try to put it together. You don't do a good job. That's what happens.
Let's talk about PlayStation Plus for February. I'm holding out for Nate to get here.
He's not.
This guy. I'm
He's
holding
probably
out.
watching us right now, just like, nah.
I'm holding out. He needs to come here and answer.
He's flooring
What he
it.
did.
He's trying to get home as fast as
For
possible.
what he did. Okay. Fine. PlayStation Plus. Actually a good month. Okay. Hold on. The past couple months haven't been bad. It's just their PlayStation Plus classics weren't great.
Yeah.
This month, though, there's like two subjects technically to it here. The first one has to do with like their extra tier, because while they have The Quarry, Resident Evil 7, Biohazard, Outriders, Scarlet Nexus, Borderlands 3, Tekken 7, Ace Combat 7, Earth Defense Force 5, Ononaki, Lost Sphere, and I Am Setsuna. That's pretty good. And Forgotten City. The big one that's like headlining the whole thing is Horizon Forbidden West. A year after it releases, it's going into their subscription service.
Mr. Pio was Mr. Pio was not happy about
Oh
it.
yeah.
I love Mr. Pio. He's like the GOAT PlayStation.
Yeah. For those who don't follow him on Twitter, there's this guy, Pio. I have no idea how to pronounce it. And he calls himself the world's biggest Sony hype man. And he was basically tweeting about how, like, what are these terrible sales numbers? Like the fact that PlayStation is putting theoretically a game that cost them $100 million to make in their subscription service so fast is a bit strange. In my video, they said in their own sales numbers that was the 5th highest selling PlayStation 5 game, I think they said, by their own reported numbers. I don't think this is a bad sign. I think they're just trying to spike their PlayStation Plus subscriber numbers.
Yeah. He also doesn't think that the game sold bad. He just wishes that there was more transparency with the sales when it comes that's all. He was just saying, well, how much is it? And people were getting on him about that. But yeah, I mean, I think that it would be nice if they could tell us, what the sales numbers are. I mean, more transparency is always good with sales numbers, but yeah, I don't know if this is like a bad sign, and it does add value. People are talking about the DLC that's coming out soon.
Yep.
So there's that, but I don't know if it's a bad sign, like if this game didn't sell. But like the problem is that there's a little bit of imbalance because you're quick to rush to talk about God of War, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah, here's the sales. But then other games, no, we're good.
Spider-Man did that as well. Returnal, this is the only game they didn't do it for.
Yeah, so it's like it's wonky too, because when it comes, and like Microsoft doesn't say anything at all. Like Microsoft refused to even talk about it. And people are like, well, what the hell?
They say how many people played it, but they never say how much the sales or gameplay.
I think some people just want a little bit more consistency, but at the end of the day, I guess it doesn't really matter. Like the game sold they probably made a ton of money on the game.
Probably, I feel like it probably sold somewhere between 7 to 10 million for Horizon Forbidden West.
Sold that much. Just say it. That's incredible. Just say it.
I know, right?
Just say, hey, look, it sold this much.
Yeah, I mean, God of War did 11 million in like 2 months.
But they announced God of War quick though, because they sold 5 million very quick. So maybe Horizon didn't sell as fast.
Well, where was Horizon in the NPD for 2022?
It was number 9. It was number 9.
Yeah.
So it was technically outsold by, this is according to the best games of 2022 in the US. It was outsold by Pokemon Legends Arceus, FIFA 23, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga, God of War Ragnarok, and Madden NFL 23, Elden Ring, and then Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 was the top. That was going from 8 to number 1 right there.
But not many of those games are single platform. So I mean, even from an exclusive standpoint, that's pretty impressive. If you get rid of the other games, get rid of your FIFAs and your fucking Lego Star Wars, because that released on everything under the sun.
Get rid of that Pokemon.
Elden Ring. Yeah. I mean, you're right.
Was that MPD sales, right?
So the Pokemon games are just physical copies.
Yeah, Pokemon's just physical. So I mean, maybe they felt that it was because like MPD sales, it's just the US, so it's not worldwide. So maybe the Europeans.
The US is the biggest market by far, though.
That's true, but Sony has a huge market in Europe though for their game sales. You know, that does make up a huge chunk of their sales as well.
I feel like the game's I feel like it's probably crossed 10 million by now, but Sony, the thing with Sony is I feel like they're all in on this Horizon IP currently. We heard about the multiplayer. That footage leaked out. They got the DLC Burning Shores coming up soon, and this is probably them thinking, well, we'll bolster our lineup for PlayStation Plus. We'll get people on board, and then we'll sell these people the DLC.
Yeah, I think, and this is my own complete speculation, I think it probably sold like 6 or 7 million, and I bet they wanted it to hit 9 million. And I feel like they're kind of holding their tongue until they give it away on PlayStation Plus, and then they'll say Burning Shores is the highest selling PlayStation DLC of all time or something. Like they're going to choose a different talking point.
They did wait a while before they said The Last of Us Part 2. They waited, from what I remember,
3 months,
waited till it hit 10 million and said it sold 10 million after a while. So, and that's
there's some speculation there's some speculation that Last of Us Part 2, I saw quite a few people talk about this, that it may have underperformed like expectations.
Well, yeah, it did
10 million.
It did underperform their expectations because the last one because the previous
the last one.
Yeah, technically that works. Yeah.
The last one, yes.
I think it did like 20 million, but that was over the course of like, that was multiple platforms and over the course of like a long time.
Dude, Last of Us Part 2 probably cost a stupid amount of money to make too.
It probably cost them, like, with marketing too. Are you guys thinking maybe like,
I think that was a $200 million game.
200 million. So
I think it was.
And then that game was discounted. Like it was discounted kind of quick. Yep. So it was like,
Well, I also wonder if Sony kind of gave them a talking to, because remember, freaking Uncharted 4 was one of the highest selling PlayStation 4 games of all time. It became the pack-in. It was such a big, popular game, marketing everywhere. And then Last of Us Part 2 also sold really well, but probably half of the Uncharted 4 numbers, but double the budget. I wonder if Sony was like, hey, do you mind doing something that makes money?
Yeah, I like that they put it on PlayStation Plus, though. I think it's a good thing. Get more people to Horizon. They're going to have they're going to try Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered at some point, apparently. So there's a lot of Horizon stuff coming. And hey, you know what? If this Horizon multiplayer game is kind of like a Monster Hunter type game, that could go over pretty well. So I get more people introduced to the franchise, get the DLC sold. Why not?
The biggest thing is like increasing the subs, though. I think that there's been stagnation across the board, Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo with subs. Well, so I think that that's the biggest thing that they want to do is like, hey, if they got this game, that's going to be a big boon,
Yep.
I looked at that in my video talking about the PlayStation Plus stuff. Their subs haven't gone down that much. They're at 46.8 million right now. The highest they've ever been was 48 million. So it's down like, 0.5% or 2% or something. But I definitely think they want it to get up to 50 or 60 million. And
just trying to figure out
still
what
really
do we
have
good.
to do.
Still incredibly good, but just stagnating, right? It's like
exactly. Yeah, not growing
everybody
anymore.
is stagnating right now. Like it's not. There's too many subscription services. Like look at all the different HBO Maxes and this. You want to watch The Last of Us. You want to. There's everything. There's subscription. Everybody is going down. Not just the gaming, but also just other apps too. Like Disney Plus, dude, they got like destroyed. Well, didn't Disney Plus go down like how many? It's been
like down 20 million or something.
Yeah,
I saw the picture. I don't know what it was.
Across the board, because like there's just too many, So it's not just but
Disney Plus has The Simpsons.
Yeah, but I can also bootleg it because fuck Disney.
And then we had the other part of PlayStation Plus that I think caught some people off guard because it was their classics tier, which hasn't been very good.
Was one game really rectified though?
Well, hold on. We have another game. We have another game in here. Hold on. We have technically, I mean, you need that one game to go in that people are like, all right, maybe they're getting serious. And then, hey, we can be let down next month.
I'm telling you, one game can change everything.
Hey, well, Legend of Dragoon is going in. All this is going live next week. I think on the
21st, baby.
21st. Yep, February 21st. All right, so Legend of Dragoon, it is going in to the service. That was good to see. I mean, it's Sony's game. I'm shocked it took this long. I figured that would have been a launch game.
Where's the PS2 stuff, man?
Okay, so we're gonna go over that in a second because I'm questioning this a bit. So we had that Wild Arms 2.
Yeah,
another good game. Another good game there.
Weren't
And
these
Harvest
games-
Moon, Back to Nature.
Didn't these games get released on the PlayStation 3 where you could buy them on the PlayStation 1?
Legend of
Yes.
Dragoon. Yeah. These games were. Yep.
If you bought those and you have the same account, by the way, Sean or anybody listening, if you bought those games on PlayStation 3 and you're using the same account, you can download them for free. You do not have to.
They're retroactive, right? Yeah.
Yep. So
It's not anything like, oh wow, this hasn't been done. You know, this is a classic that you haven't played on one of our. I don't know. It's just
No. You're right, Sean. Like it's not anything that's like, oh my gosh, it's never been done before. But it's just nice to see them acknowledge just the sliver of Legend of Dragoon. Sony, I think, hates this franchise. I think they hate this franchise. They didn't want to put the main character in PlayStation All Stars. You know, they're like,
oh yeah,
we're good. You know, like so that's why anytime there's even just a little bit, people are excited about it. That's all it really is. You know.
I'm really excited about this. This is a big month for RPGs in just such a huge way. The fact that they're putting on all 3 of the Tokyo RPG Factory games, I am a huge lover of I Am Setsuna, and then Legend of Dragoon on there. And there's a rumor that it's going to have full trophy support with like a bunch of hopefully good, interesting trophies and not just lazy beat the game kind of crap. I'm extremely happy. Like 10 out of 10. I've been subscribed because I'm a dumb cuck, but now it's actually kind of worth the money.
Well, let's discuss this because Sean, you asked where the PS2 games are.
Mm-hmm.
Sean, they've been adding PS2 games like almost every month.
Really.
Hey, Destroy All Humans on the PS4.
No.
Hold on.
Doesn't
It
count.
says it's the PS4 remake of the legendary PS2 Alien Invasion action adventure.
So shut up, Sean.
Keep
No,
going.
that's the description right there. I am wondering, Sean, if we are seeing the PS2 games. Like, this is it. It's, hey, we have games that were remastered or remade in the library, and
It's not the same.
they're PS2 games. So
It's
here
not
are
what
PS2
anyone's
titles.
hoping for or
No,
wants. They want
it's
to
not.
play PS2 games.
Yeah,
Like,
library is crazy. Like,
the library is crazy.
I asked
There's
MVG.
so many games to choose
MVG
from.
says they have not used the PS2 emulator yet.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
And I agree with Sean 100%. The other day, I actually installed the PlayStation 2 backwards compatible thing of Code Veronica. And that game played and looked really good on PlayStation 4, now PlayStation 5. And while playing it, I really like Code Veronica. I was kind of wondering, there is so much crazy back catalog stuff that even Sony just already owns. It's weird they're not bringing it over. It seems like free money. Like even bring, I don't know, old SOCOM. I don't know. Bring anything. Bring Logan's. There's the PS2 freaking Siphon and Filter games are great. Bring those over.
Yeah. The Omega Strain,
Omega Strain and Logan Shadow, which
Yeah.
some people hate it. I love Logan Shadow.
which also came out on PSP.
I played it mostly on PSP. I played the online multiplayer on PSP.
That was at the time when they
jank.
would take PSP games and move them over to PlayStation 2. That was
Yep.
that was an interesting time frame.
I have a bunch of those. I would buy them twice like an idiot once they went on sale.
I'm gonna say this, but it took them a while to get Legend of Dragoon on there. So
Well,
I don't know if
Tranquil D beats. PlayStation 3 was a long time ago, just in case RGC forgot. We cannot play it for the whole last generation. I've been waiting for Legend of Dragoon because I guess emulation doesn't exist. I mean, your fucking toenail can emulate the PlayStation 1. Literally every Chinese device that comes out that's $50 can run PlayStation 1 just fine.
I agree. Like I got my RetroPie right here, which has 1 million legal PlayStation 1 ROMs on it. But I think a lot of normies don't know that. I think that this is good for those people that have a console but don't know anything besides email and like.
I
work
feel
it-
like if he's watching this, or I shouldn't assume it's a he. I feel like if they are watching this show, though, they should understand, basic.
I agree with you,
always.
but I do think some people it is also just laziness of like, I already have my PlayStation 5. I'm already subscribed. Like, give me the thing I already want. But it is definitely, people could get it. This is just the better solution.
I am a very progressive person with my they.
I do like the they thems.
I mean,
I feel like there's got to be something. The emulator, they're trying to get it correct or legal stuff or license. I don't know. It just seems weird that it's taken this long just to get Legend of Dragoon on the service, and we still haven't seen anything tangible for PS2. Nothing really for PSP that's really impressed anyone either. So it's a slow ramp up for this service right now.
I love Loco Roco. I'm glad they put those on there. But yeah, none of this stuff. They also put oh god, I'm forgetting, what do they call it? One of the block breaking games. I think this stuff's
Breakout?
cool. No, what is it called? Super Stardust Ultra. Super Stardust Ultra is in there.
The other thing I think might happen here is because we have the PlayStation Plus Essentials that covers PS4 as well as PS5. Eventually, they're going to cycle out PS4 games, I assume, and then just be like, oh, now it's just PS5 stuff. But do they replace PS4 with PSVR 2?
Right. I think they're going to start to put a bunch of. I honestly, them putting Horizon on there, I think they're going to start putting a lot of stuff a year later. I think they're going to put a lot on there.
You think you think that's what it is? Think that the timetable is 1 year, huh?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
well,
okay.
I think it'd be a good way of getting people to. It seems like with console sales as high as they are, I think PlayStation wants to just keep people lining up for PlayStation 5s as long as possible. And when it comes to the retro stuff, I have a feeling that it's not really an emulator problem. I have a feeling they have like 35 games that they still have the source code for and are in good working condition and they're ready to go, and they're just trying to space out those 35 games for like 3 years or something.
Okay, well, we'll see. At least for this month. Hey, Legend of Dragoon, you should be able to just buy it separately as well if you just want it, so you don't necessarily have to be subscribed to pick it up. So good stuff there. At least get some of those big PS1 titles rolling along. Evan, do we have a Discord question over there?
Yeah, we still got a bit left.
Sure.
With less than 2 months now until the Wii U and 3DS eShops close, has anyone on the Spawncast started to do any preparation yet? I guess in like
You mean
purchase
make
and
the
stuff.
video? Yes, I have. Probably next weekend we're gonna get hit with 1-2 punch.
Games.
Brett
games
will
to
be
get.
working feverishly all week.
Hey, I already showed people how to get a cheap 3DS, modify it, and then the world is yours.
Yeah.
Then
That's how I
don't-
prepped for it. I hacked
Modding
the 3DS.
pieces, FBI, police,
hey, there won't be anywhere to go to buy games then.
police. There's still people who will fight you on Twitter, though.
I'm just trying to help people out. Look, it's there. Nintendo doesn't want to sell it to you. All I'm showing you is how to open up your 3DS. There you go.
Yeah, we don't talk about Nintendo Sims here.
I didn't even show how to do it. I just said it's possible. You get the really nice new 3DS and just open it up. It'd be the Japanese model. Perfectly fine, region free. So yeah, that's my preparation.
Bob Wolfden, I love all his stuff where he talks about like mod boxes and emulators, and he'll be like, you can download ROMs legally. I won't tell you what to do, but you can Google the name of the game and the word ROM. That's what he says in his videos.
That's good. Evan, we have another Discord question.
Do you think Sony will be able to implement a quick resume feature on the PS5 with a simple software update, or would it be a wait for a hardware upgrade thing?
You know, I wonder how many people are using quick resume as much, because I feel like there have been people ask for them to turn it off or stop. Can you just turn off quick resume?
Quick resume is like one of those features that's incredible, and then you start realizing that you probably shouldn't use it. It's
why?
Because
Yeah.
it eats up your memory. That's one thing. And then some games, it'll just completely jack up the time, like the runtime, like Dragon Quest.
The in-game clock.
Yeah, it just completely like borks the in-game clock in some games. So that's when I was like, I don't think I want to use this anymore. Like I do like it though. It's very good if something happens, like let's say your power cuts out, you quick resume right there, but it's like finicky. Like sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Like it doesn't always work properly with every single game. Like it's just, I don't know, like maybe people in the chat have a different experience, but my experience with playing Mass Effect Legendary Edition for 300 plus hours was sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't.
I used it for I've used it for Wanted Dead a lot recently because I didn't know where the save points were in it because they don't make it obvious. Yeah. And it worked fine this entire, I think it's quick resume now. And I used it a bit at launch, but as we were getting games where it was online or we did multiplayer, if I played Halo online, I'm not going to quick resume that because it would do some weird stuff.
Oh yeah,
the game would just go crazy sometimes. So.
I use quick resume because sometimes like I'll be playing NBA 2K and I'll get pissed off because like I'll miss a shot and I'll just quit out and then I'll go like over to Hogwarts Legacy, and then after like 30 minutes of Hogwarts Legacy, I'll be like, I kind of want to play some 2K, and I'll just quick resume right back into the game I was in. So I actually use it quite a bit.
Yeah.
It works.
For single player games, I think it works better than the games that are connected online. Like for Redfall, I have no idea how I'm going to use it for Redfall.
No, you won't. I mean, it's just like Call of Duty. If you quick resume it, you have to exit out anyway. So it's like, what's the fucking point?
You have to exit out after every match in that game. What are you talking about?
Pretty much.
It's like works better for like Xbox Series games than like Xbox One backwards compatibility. I'm not sure because like I know that any games that I've had, I know my Mass Effect Legendary Edition that's backwards compatibility. My Dragon Quest that's that's the common theme that I've seen. Like backwards compatibility games, it seems like it doesn't work as good, but like Xbox Series games, it works just fine. I don't know.
You have another Discord question, Evan?
If PS5 continues to have stronger sales than Switch in Japan, do you think it could eventually cause Japanese devs to start shifting their main developing platform away from Switch and focus primarily on making games first or even exclusive to PS5?
Not necessarily, because of the fact that the Switch is kind of on its way out anyway. So Nintendo will have, I mean, let's be realistic, even on the far end of the spectrum, let's say 2 years until a new Nintendo system comes out. Like, is that enough time? You know, you got to think of how long game development takes when you're planning things out and stuff.
Game developers are going to go where there's install base. That's where they look at first and foremost is install base. They don't look at week to week sales or anything like that. They look at install base. So if something has a huge install base, they'll be like, we're going to support that. So I think that a lot of developers will even support the Switch even after the next. I think even after the next Switch comes out, some will still make their games on Switch, just like some developers still just support PS4. Yeah, like some developers just put it on PS4, especially if the next Switch is backwards compatible. They just might say, well, it's just this, you know. So that's also one thing that I think is very possible.
My thing is, I don't think we ever really saw, like, there's so many Japanese developers that just never even like went to it's really weird. Like Bandai Namco just seemed confused this entire generation with the Switch. Like several big Japanese games are still not on the platform, like a Scarlet Nexus or Tales of Arise.
Bandai Namco they're late on all of their stuff. Like they'll do some big stuff, but it's late as hell. Like they did Dragon Ball, but that was late.
But like Soul Hackers 2 isn't there?
Yeah, Soul Hackers not there.
So weird.
SMT5, it's there. SMT3, it's there. So it's like spotty. Like Persona 5, okay, that's there, but then not Soul Hackers, you know? So it's just it seems very spotty at times.
All over the place. It's weird. Because you figure they'd look at that and be like, there's a lot of people who have a Switch in Japan. And they're like, Soul Hackers 2. It's cool. It's like, well, that game kind of needed it.
and then the funny thing is like, oh yeah, Soul Hackers 2, it's like Xbox. And then like other games, not Xbox. You know what I'm saying? Like certain stuff, like not that. So it's just I think
but then they all show up on the PlayStation. That's what it's weird that it's to that point with even third-party Japanese developers.
Because PlayStation brand is still, I mean, one, they're still trying to sell to people here in the US. Like most of the time, like even these Japanese games, they still all sell better in the US. You know, like Atelier Ryza, Japanese game, like hardcore Japanese game, right? But that's still going to sell way more in the US than it is in Japan. You know, so they see that base of PlayStation and and they see the sales. Like that's the thing is like PlayStation still has a good ratio of people that will buy these Japanese games. You know, even like Soul Hackers, like the majority of that was on PlayStation. Like almost all of it was on PlayStation.
Yeah, it's still straight. Like at this point, it's almost it's getting to be too late to start doing that. If Nintendo's going to be talking about their next system and say, I don't know, 12 months or so from now.
Yeah, it's not like they're gonna magically ship the development to PlayStation 5.
Maybe
because
it's a little late. Yeah.
Well,
maybe they're lucky it'll be backwards compatible for the Switch, and if they make something right now for the Switch, it'll just be there for the next system as well.
Yeah, that's what I think. But even if you're looking at like new games, like big new games coming out, like let's say like Level 5, they're back, right? Like they have Deca Police. They just announced that. They announced it for Switch, PS4, PS5. So they'll just put it on the systems that they think it's going to sell, or the new Layton game. Like, oh, well, I think Switch is big install base. We're going to put it on Switch, So I think that's what a lot of, they're going to look at it from case by case base. But a lot of the times they'll just be like, hey, if we can put it on Switch and it's going to work, then we'll try it at least. Or at least if we can get a working build. Like some developers, specs aren't up to snuff for us. So we're probably not going to try it. Like the King of Fighters devs, they're like, specs aren't really quite there for us. So, we're not going to do that.
Mm-hmm. We have another Discord question, Evan.
What's everyone's favorite non-gaming YouTube channel?
Non-gaming YouTube channel.
Golden Fringe, baby.
That chapter, it's a true crime thing with a little Welsh guy who's like, oh, we're going to be digging into this terrible triple homicide. And I'm very addicted to it.
Non-gaming. It honestly might be Undisputed.
Okay, Undisputed.
I just have Undisputed on all the time. I just laugh about
Undisputed's
it.
pretty- And all the fake bootleg Undisputeds that you run into.
There's too many of them. They're everywhere.
And YouTube's verifying them.
Yeah. I don't know. I like watching all the sports banter back and forth.
Yeah.
Big fan of it.
Eat.
Yeah. Let's see. I will. All right, we'll talk about. Well, Nate's not here. I assume he's not coming. I told him we were going to talk about this, and he didn't want any of it.
That's
So,
probably why he didn't want to come.
I feel like he didn't show up. You're right, Sean. He didn't show up because he knew what I was about to talk about.
Because if you would have told me the topics for tonight, I wouldn't have come on. What did we talk about of substance tonight?
No, because I mentioned
the greatest discovery we made tonight was the fact that A Bard's Tale is on fucking Switch.
But we all knew that already.
No, we didn't. OJ didn't know. I didn't know.
It's because you're a fake Nintendo YouTuber.
I'm not a Nintendo YouTuber. I say it all the time.
Hey, that's proof right there. He didn't know Bard's Tale was on the Switch. There you go.
That's the bar. Whether you're a Nintendo YouTuber,
That's the bar.
If you know Bard's Tale, if it's on the Switch or not.
Ooh, I had a bunch of coins. Hell yeah.
Are you buying Bard's Tale right now?
It's gonna cost me $1.78. Yes, I will buy that. I can afford that.
You have that many gold coins?
Ever the fuck Dentley. I don't know where they came from, but hey, I'm not
probably from buying all those games.
Maybe.
One of Dead came out this week. I forgot. So one day I was talking with Nate and he convinced me to get this game.
Okay, that's not the story at all.
No, he convinced me.
No, Nate got a fucking press kit. This is John. John tells the worst stories because he's a liar about it.
Explain the press kit, and then everyone in the chat will be like, "Okay, I'd be interested as well in that."
They sent Nate a press kit completely randomly, and there was like a fake grenade in there.
We don't know if it was fake. Nate's not here right now. We don't know if that was fake.
Anyways, so it's made by Team Ninja, who haven't had the greatest track record as of late. Looking at the game, it clearly looks like Devil's Third type quality, so it could be a so bad it's good situation. But for some reason, John was all hyped about this game, like, I wanted to lie, we're not play it. No, it isn't made by Team Ninja.
No, it's a hybrid slasher shooter from the makers of Ninja Gaiden and Dead or Alive. That is what it is.
Okay, so
Nate was explaining it to me. He said he was going to play it.
That one developer, Solel or whatever their name is.
But he never said that it was going to be a good game. You for some reason got in your mind that it was going to be a good game.
Did you not hear what he said? He just said this the other day. I said this game is terrible. He said it's a good game.
Yeah, but good is subjective. Good doesn't mean a 10 out of 10.
He said this is a good game.
And
it is I bet developer that I was thinking about. Solel, Soleil. Didn't they make Yaiba Ninja Gaiden Z?
The terrible Ninja Gaiden?
It's at a 60 on Metacritic. That seems good to me. It's not great. It's not excellent.
Good? Did you say
mediocre would be a 5. We need to get the fuck over these goddamn review scores. Now my blood pressure's gonna go up. I am fucking sick and goddamn tired of people using a 10-point review score, but anything under a 7 is considered bad. That makes no fucking sense. 5 is in the middle. 5 should be average. 5 should be mediocre. Your 1s, your 2s, your 3s, those are the things that are considered bad, not a fucking 6 or a 7, a middleware game, a mediocre game that maybe nobody had big expectations for. It's ridiculous.
I've tried scoring things like that, Sean, but everyone keeps telling me if they kind of like it, it needs to be at least an 8.
That's ridiculous.
It is. No, I agree with you, but it's never gonna change.
About that. But a 6 is not a great score. Like
I didn't say great. I said good. 5 is mediocre.
Wait, hold up. 6 is a D, right? That'd be a D in school.
We're not talking about school. We're talking about a 1 to 10. We're talking about a 1 to 10 scoring system, not an A to an F scoring system.
But it's no. If you were taking an exam and you got 6 right out of 10, that's not very good.
A 5 is where the middle is. 5 would be average. If you have a bunch of kids taking a test and the average is 5 because it's a middle of the road thing, Just get away with it. Just have fucking 6 to 10 then. And 6 is the fucking worst piece of shit filled with hatred and bigotry ever. And then you get the 10, which is the greatest thing ever. So you have a Hogwarts Legacy. You have a 6 to 10 fucking thing. That's it. That's all we're gonna do from now on is 6 to 10.
Wait, listen, bro. Listen. I have a child, okay? And if she comes home with the 6 out of 10, I'm gonna be like, there's a problem.
But who made that grading scale? Why is that grading scale the way that it is? When a 5 should be, I think a 5 should be passing because it's average, it's middle of the road. What's the point of having these other numbers there?
5's not very good, bro.
No, it's bad.
It's not supposed to be good. It's average. It's the middle.
Sean, anything below a 6 is comedic effect. Like that's all it really is.
Like, average is bad now. I mean, we're in a world of extreme.
Okay, so Sean, this game is at a 60. You're saying that could be good. It's subjective. It could be good.
It's subjective.
Good. I'm glad you said that because I want you to remind you that Star Wars Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast is a 64.
And you like that game and I don't. That's fine.
There you go. So Sean says that must be a good game then.
No, I'm saying there's room for debate. There's room for common sense.
Jedi Outcast is an 81 though, also on the Xbox.
Sean is saying that if one person likes it and one person doesn't, that it's a Spawncast 5.
Listen, guys, listen. If I were you, I would not buy games that are 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
Okay, so Wanted Dead. It's not a very good game. It's pretty bad.
No, you can buy 6 out of 10 games. Like buy whatever you want, but I'm just saying, like 6 out of 10 is not a good score.
I would not recommend buying this game. It's currently $60. It does not feel like Ninja Gaiden. It does not feel like Dead or Alive. It's a very busted up. I don't even know. A third-person action shooter is how they describe it. The bullets don't really do any damage. There's no recoil for the enemies when they get hit by anything. You have to, I mean, honestly, slash up an enemy about 80 times to kill them. If you chop their arm off, they still will attack you. It's
are the enemies humans or zombies? What are they?
I don't like. I don't know. It's supposed to be. I don't know.
It's supposed to be a zombie
I played through the
invasion thing,
first level, and they were like SWAT team members that were attacking me. And then I played through the second level, and it's basically SWAT team enemies with hard hats on, because now I'm in a park or construction area. And I'm filling out my skill tree. In the first hour, I was 50% done my skill tree.
Oh, that's a bad sign.
So yeah, I'm a little concerned about that. I keep getting achievements popping. I think half the achievements are unlocked in the first like 2 hours. So
dopamine drip your ass.
The game itself is the checkpoints. I think there's like these drones you go to, and that's a checkpoint, but even that's not set up well.
We're killing Sean.
The combo system.
How you gonna let Wanted Dead get you to check your blood pressure?
Wanted Dead is gonna kill this man.
You can't. That game ain't good enough for you to get your blood pressure up, bro. You gotta check his blood.
All right, let's take a look.
Are you gonna? We don't want you dead. So don't die over Wanted Dead.
Don't die over Wanted Dead.
The combat system is really bad. The parry system is terrible. The timing's all over the place. You have a pistol that you use, and I have a clip of me killing an enemy by just pressing the Y button over and over again. I think it took 30 shots to kill them, but they couldn't move because I locked them in the corner, and it was just the worst janky looking thing I've ever seen.
So Sean, is your blood pressure a 5 out of 10, and is that good or bad?
Can't talk.
You gotta sit still.
I've never touched one of those. I don't know.
Out of 10, is that good or that's not very good?
You want a 10, right?
You want like 8 or 9 of those to be on point, right? Maybe two or three of them. But if you have 4 that come in not very good, like I'm not sure if that's a good thing or not. You know.
I think a patch is going to fix Wanted Dead. I think the game foundation itself is just busted.
I heard the cutscenes are funny. Like they're so bad, they're great.
I posted I have a video of it. They're so after the first level, there's a cutscene where it's obvious it's supposed to be like the B-movie cop flick where you have the
hold on, I think I messed it up.
Where you have the mean straight edge
oh yeah.
Commander or whatever, who's the captain, who's like, you blew up half the block to catch the one person. Now you can do that kind of damage and all that stuff. And then as he's yelling at you and trying to make a point, opera music starts playing in the background. And I'm like, what is going on? Why is there opera music playing in the middle of this? And I thought it was going to be a funny joke where they're like, look, our budget's cut so badly that we're next to this theater, we're above the theater. So, no, they just decided to put opera music in there for some reason. So it's like watching that scene from 21 Jump Street where the guy's just screaming at them and opera music's playing in the background, and it's slightly louder than the captain is. It's just, I don't understand the game. It's very weird. You know what the best part about the game is? It's the claw machine.
Oh yeah,
That's the best part of every game.
There's a claw machine in the game. There's two of them actually. I feel like most of the budget went into these claw machines because the physics are good. It's interesting because you can kick. What was that?
It's not
It was
great.
his,
It's
the
not great.
Velcro. The Velcro from his blood pressure
Say it.
machine.
Say it out loud.
No,
5 out of 10.
It's not good.
Do you have to leave now?
I wouldn't think it's very good. As
you have to-
somebody who had high blood pressure before, and I've had to deal with that, I know you probably got riled up a bit. You know, that's why I said calm. I was trying to tell you to calm down.
No, it'll be all right.
Okay. Should we call someone?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
I'm gonna find you in
Okay.
that basement and go, damn, he's 5 out of 10.
Let's just not talk about the review scores anymore.
6 out of 10.
You can kick the claw machine and it will move everything around in there. There's no currency to play the claw machine. You just keep pressing A over and over again to play it. Thought it would have been a good idea to have some kind of gamification to it where you get money when you're out doing these missions, but none of that happens. And when you pick up things, you get soundtracks or just different things to play on the jukebox. And then you also get little figures that you just have. So I just played that for a while and was fine. that was the most enjoyment I had was a claw machine mini game that was well put together. Better than all the combat. Would not recommend the game. I don't know how Nate says it's good.
Because good is subjective.
There was a chainsaw you can get though, and you cut people up with it.
See?
Does
That
they
sounds
actually think this game is good?
I don't. I think he's messing with me. He's messing with me.
trolling.
Yeah, he's messing with. There's no way. If anyone plays this game, they have to look at this and be like, maybe it's a fun $20 budget game or something, but it's like a full 60 and it has those names behind it, Dead or Alive and Ninja Guy, and no, just is neither of those. So now with all the games coming out, it's an easy skip currently.
An easy skip.
Unless you want to play a claw machine. Hey, good claw machine. It's all base too, by the way, you go to. I don't know why you go to it. There's nothing there to do. I don't know. What a weird game. We have Discord questions, Evan?
In honor of Wanted Dead, what is your favorite marketing media for a smaller game? Apparently there's a trailer for this that is just following an NPC character around at like working his 3 service jobs while...
Yes, I saw that. Yep.
Yeah.
I had no idea what was happening. I don't know what that was about.
Strange marketing.
Strange marketing for a game.
I remember this strange marketing for the Ring movies where they just played the Ring tape at midnight and scared the hell out of me.
Strange marketing.
Metal Gear Solid 2 kind of misleading us, putting Snake in a bunch of parts of the world that he wasn't in.
My favorite's any of the Crash Bandicoot ones where it's just a dude in a suit yelling at people.
Oh yeah, those are great.
Those are always good. That's not a smaller game though. I don't know.
Somebody posted a great clip from one of those Crash commercials I'd never seen where it's like a couple and they're like making out on bed and he just zip lines through the window. Like, why is this an ad?
I think he had one where he's like outside in like Nintendo's headquarters.
Yeah.
And he's like,
He's just yelling at him,
like
yeah.
a microphone or
Come
something.
out here, plumber boy.
Yeah.
I remember there was okay, so with Advent Rising, they had a big push for marketing that there was like $1 million prize in the game.
Mhm.
And they hyped this up for so long, I think ahead of launch. And you had to go through the game and find, I feel like it was like glyphs or something on different walls, and you had to solve this puzzle, but they canceled it. They said that there was like no actual way to do it in the game, like they messed it up or something.
Well, and the
Sure, they
budget
did.
for that game.
The game,
I actually liked that game. I thought that was a fun game. I don't know.
the failed early 2000s MMO Tabula Rasa. I think part of the story was about like living forever was kind of the major plot point. So they said that one person who bought the game, they would freeze your DNA and put it into orbit in a satellite. And I don't know if they ever actually did it, but they promised they would.
What wasn't there like $1 million? There was this really crusty old game. It was called like Drake and the 99 Dragons or something like that. There was like this $1 million prize or something they were trying to do with that, and it never happened. And the game was trash. I forgot exactly what it was, but I'll look it up because I'm curious.
Advent Rising 68 on Metacritic. Interesting.
Damn, that's great.
68.
But John liked it.
Hey, IGN gave it I think an 8.
You can like games that aren't
And
rated
Games
highly.
TM gave it a 2.
A 2.
Wait,
Tommy
you can-
Tallarico did the sound for that game.
Yeah,
Yeah, allegedly.
I don't like it.
Allegedly.
You can like games that aren't like highly rated. Lots of people like games that aren't like super high rated, so it's okay. You know.
Yeah, look at my comment section on every review. It's people saying that I'm wrong and that every game is
Isn't
bad.
there a review out there somewhere for Smash Brothers Melee and it got like a 2 or something?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
Tommy.
That was
Tallarico.
also Tommy Tallarico.
That was also and Victor.
There you
Lucas.
go.
Yeah, so
There you go,
but
Sean.
they ended up clarifying. At least Victor did. He said that he didn't understand the game because he was coming off like Soul Calibur and stuff. But that's also kind of like BS because like Smash 64 came out before it, so. And he liked that. He thought it was good. So I think that was kind of a lame
cap.
response. But hey, it is. What
I
it
would
is.
I would tell you should play Wanted Dead, Sean, but I don't know. I can't recommend it with the blood pressure stuff. 'Cause that actually might might do some damage, dude. That game it's pretty bad. There will be the controllers might be thrown. I'm gonna be real with you. It's not great. It's not great.
Gotta be alright.
Let's see.
We still got like 5 questions left. Maybe we can tear through. Is anyone going to do a Steam Deck 1 year later kind of video?
That's a good question. Sean has used his a good bit. I've used mine for emulation. I feel like I should use it more for Steam stuff though. I keep using it to emulate things.
I only play Steam games on mine, and I played a lot. I actually keep it connected to my TV. I use it as my second computer on the TV.
I thought about getting Returnal on it. That crossed my mind.
Returnal. Oh, sorry, Steam Deck. I was about to say I saw the thing from Digital Foundry. Returnal looks good.
Yeah, it looks good it looks really good on PC.
It looks like a PlayStation 6 game.
Yeah.
Other than Half-Life Alyx, what other VR game would you be excited about?
Other than Half-Life Alyx, what the VR game would
I recently played the mod for Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 in VR, and they're brilliant. They work so freaking well. I wish that those were officially supported for sure.
There's some games they've shown for the PSVR that no one, or the PSVR that no one's talking about, like Behemoth, I think is the title of that one, where you're just like in that snowy area and it's like giant monsters and you're trying to climb them and stuff. No one's talking about it. It actually looks really cool.
Here's what I would be excited for, okay? Because this is in development right now, but I don't know if it's for PSVR 2, but it would make a lot of sense. Is Time Crisis, the new one,
Oh, hell yeah.
was revealed as that, because the last one that they did, I think it was 2015, it was in arcades. They built that on Unreal Engine. So it's already technically moved into the space that VR would support. And I think a new Time Crisis game, like a high quality one for PSVR 2, I don't know if it would blow the roof off the place, but it would definitely make me really interested. I would absolutely get that right away. And I think it'd be a lot of fun. Those kind of games, those shooters, work really well in VR, obviously. So that would be cool, especially with that online multiplayer and stuff. And you could play with another person, how it has the setup in an arcade where you and another person might take different paths but help each other. That'd be fun.
I
I'd get a
actually
kick
agree.
out of that.
Yeah, I think that's a fantastic idea.
Go, Devin.
All right. Does anyone remember how Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles could lock on to each other on the Wii Virtual Console? Considering Nintendo did it, then no problem. It would seem like a no-brainer that transfer pack function would be used in NSO.
I think transfer pack function is happening. Yes, I think Nate's mentioned that several times. I think it is a thing. Yeah, I think they'll use it with Pokemon and Pokemon Stadium.
Dude, I'm so hyped for that. Seriously.
Yeah, I'd be curious if they do it with other games too. Some of the other games for Game Boy and 64 will like work together, so that could be fun. I think that's a way for them to tie all their services together. Think about it, if you're on Game Boy and you have transfer pack support for N64 and you want to do it, you have to upgrade to the expansion pack tier.
All right,
That's how they get you.
This one's kind of a big leap. But with Redfall requiring persistent online connection, is Microsoft giving up on things like game ownership? It feels like we can only rent games now.
I mean, kind of, yeah.
I mean, I feel like we've been working that way for a while now with games in general. Going to that digital age, it's been slowly getting there. So yeah, I've said for a while, I think we're currently in the last generation for systems to have disk drives on them. I think PS6 and whatever next Xbox is in 2028 or so, I don't think they have disk drives.
About 10 years ago, I read a thing that said that Sony, Microsoft, both of them really wanted to sell you a subscription service. And this was before really Game Pass or PlayStation Plus. And their whole pitch at the time was to make it where you didn't even have a console. It would just play it, or maybe you'd download the games into the controller and beam it to your TV. But that's what they wanted to do all along, is get you to pay a Netflix fee. And I definitely feel like we're getting closer and closer to that, where Microsoft just wants everybody to have Game Pass. They don't care about you buying the games.
All right, and then last up, does anyone think we could see Prime 2 Remastered Shadow dropped in a summer direct and Prime 3 Remastered dropped in a fall direct?
Depends
I hope so.
what level. I think those two might get put together.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. I don't mind if they just start dropping. Like, they should just shadow drop those two, even if they're together. I don't
Yeah.
mind it. Why not?
What if they sell it as a collection and call it Metroid Legacy instead of Prime?
Almost trilogy.
Yeah, almost a trilogy. Duology.
Duology of the Holy War. There you go. Duology of the Chozo War. Bam. 2 great games in one package. $60.
I'd buy it. Yeah, $60. I'd buy it.
I mean, it'd be exciting.
Then you'd be paying $100
good,
for all 3 of them. If you think about it.
Hey, that's how they work. I mean, yeah, I'd pick them up when they drop them at, like, if they were dropped for $20 a piece or 40 or 50 for the whole thing or whatever it is. I'd be there for it. That'd be fun. I actually wouldn't mind playing through 3 again. It's been a while.
3 is incredible. It's much better than you remember it being.
It's been a while since I played it. I would like to play through it again. I think I got a kick out of Metroid Remastered. I think I'd like that one too.
It's very good.
Those are all the Discord questions, Evan.
We're
okay,
good.
we have some super chats here to wrap up with. We'll do the after show with Sean, of course, so stay tuned and we'll get the link dropped in for that. Rufflemut says currently playing Fire Emblem 3 Houses and Wolf both Red and Blue House take a dark turn. Think we'll ever see a rated M Fire Emblem in the future?
No.
Nah.
I think they're gonna skate that teen rating as much as they can. They'll get as much out of that teen rating as they can.
As soon as you make it rated M, now teenagers can't buy it without a parent.
Tijo says, Tijo says, I meant N and M's outfit in Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
N and M's outfit?
Yes,
They
that's
never
what they
said they're
said.
gonna give. They never said that they're gonna do those outfits. They said that they're gonna do like the originals, like Xenoblade 1 and 2 cast, which they did. Right? So they never said N and M.
John O says, Bumblebee Tuna, excuse me, a bunch of stars there are showing Bumblebee Tuna.
It would be balls in the original.
Oh, okay. I was counting the stars, trying to count them because it's like real small text here on my screen. Okay. CJ says, love the show. Is anyone on the cast replaying the PS classic Legend Dragoon? So Legend Dragoon, I remember this game being, I feel like it was over 40 hours. I'm going to play it here and there as I go, just because it's coming out when I definitely want to fire it up though and get it with some nostalgia for at least an hour or two and see where we are
I'm
with
definitely
it.
gonna play it. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check it out. It's been a long time since I've played the game, so
It's been a bit. I remember I had to borrow one of the discs, like one of the last. Was it the last one or the one before? Because at one point I rented it to finish it, but I remember midway through I had to borrow one of the discs from a friend of mine to continue my playthrough.
I always my friend had it, and whenever he went to Greece over the summer, he let me borrow his PS1, and that was my only opportunity to play it. So over the course of like 2 years, I remember playing it back to back there, just putting as much time as I could in there. So I
think that game took me an entire year, maybe more than a year, and I just kept that memory card. That was the one benefit of the PS1 is I just needed the memory card, not the game. Yep. So I remember I left that save file on there the entire time. This
was before the era of YouTube, so like if you were stuck or if there was issues, you can't just look up at anything. Like you're just kind of screwed sometimes, or you got to figure it out.
The first time me and my friend were playing Final Fantasy VII with no strategy guide right as it came out, we got stuck in Wall Market forever because we couldn't understand the like getting the dress, finding the dressmaker, getting the telling them we just literally couldn't figure it out. So we were literally walking around. We probably walked around for like 3 days in that little tiny map.
This is from Christopher says, Hari GT, how are you doing, my friend? Hope all is well.
I'm doing a lot better. I was until the wanted.
Hey man, I'm telling you, wanted dead. Stay away from wanted dead. I'm telling you.
Wanted alive.
Wanted dead. I'm telling you.
Tried to kill me.
Jono says, nice working vaping the B12. Most people's guts are so jacked they don't absorb 10% of what's needed. What big live event are you all most looking forward to attending this year? I guess too many games. I don't know.
Too many games, yeah.
Yeah, too many games. I'm not really going to anything else outside of that in terms of live events. Maybe I'll go to, I guess that's not a Nintendo, Super Nintendo World. Maybe I'll go to that.
You want to go to Super Nintendo World at some point. Yeah, says, I know a lot of people want more PS2 games added to PS Plus, but the problem is that 90% of PS2 games that are already there are unplayable on PS5 due to visual glitches. They gotta work. They gotta figure that out.
Isn't that their problem?
They gotta work it out. Get that emulator running. Richard, just no message, but they did post a banana.
Good, hell yeah.
Dewan Davis says, what's up? Yeah, what's up, OJ? How you doing today? I do got a crusher. What's going on? Platinum Games Teenage Ninja gave me a video of a game. So what's G?
He's asking about, he got a question about Platinum Games potentially doing a Turtles game.
Ninja Turtles game.
Yeah, because they did one before in the past.
Yep.
But no, there's nothing right now. So I don't know if they're going to do anything with the Turtles.
I wouldn't mind them doing it. The problem, I feel like Nickelodeon has like the stuff for Ninja Turtles, right? They've been kind of loose with it, but if Platinum was able to do an adaptation,
one up.
Yeah, but I mean, like with the source material, if Platinum went to the comic books though and did something on that, that would be cool.
They're not,
because the comics are super dark.
These people don't want to fund anything. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't want to give any money. Like they rather just do Shredder's Revenge, which is a smaller, beat 'em up, and they can make a ton of money with a smaller team doing stuff. Like, so I don't know if we're ever going to see, it's either going to like be huge license like Harry Potter, or it's going to be like independent type of smaller 2D action stuff or whatever, smaller 3D games from some of these licensed titles, I don't know. That's just kind of how I see it. The last Turtles game that came out, obviously, it wasn't very good, but it kind of flopped too. So the last Platinum Games Turtles game, sorry.
Andy says $70 pricing sucks, but between high prices versus buggy releases, I'd rather have the quality. Can't have both. I mean, I paid half the difference to send this. I say that about games that have big budgets, but then we hear a Saints Row had $100 million budget. And it's like, wow.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a correlation there. A game can be $70 and still be buggy as hell and not have issues.
We like to think that if it costs more, it'll be better, but I don't know, man. It's tough right now. Jeez.
I already forgot the name, but what's the name of the freaking Babylon's Fall? That was $70.
Oh no, that wasn't 70, was it?
It was.
Wild Hearts on PC is 70, and it's apparently a buggy mess there.
Godfall. Oh, I remember Godfall. Oof.
I did not know Babylon's Fall was 70.
I know. Isn't that insane?
Let me go around here as we finish up with some of the super chats. I'll check Streamlabs too to make sure, but let me go around. Max, where can everyone find you?
YouTube.com/Dreamcast guy. On Monday, I have 2 separate big reviews. You're gonna get Atomic Heart, very long, in-depth video, and then I'm also reviewing Like a Dragon Ishin, which obviously is the new Yakuza game. I have not slept in days. Check it out.
Okay, let me go over here to OJ. Where can I find you?
Find me right here on YouTube, Player Essence. I've got some cool stuff that I'm cooking up for next week. There's some RPGs coming that I'm excited for. Telluride 3. So if you're into RPGs, also Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Got some more content coming on that, some information. So if you're into RPGs or you're into Nintendo games or you're into all that stuff, check me out. Stream pretty much daily as well. So just catch me on right here, Player Essence. So yeah. Also looking forward to a big video that I think I really want to, I want to wait up to talk about this, but there's some good stuff with Final Fantasy. So I'm really excited for that. So
nice.
But yeah,
I'm going to watch the hell out of that.
Final Fantasy 16 to be exact.
Good stuff.
All right.
Final Fantasy 16 hype starting up.
It's starting up.
I do want to also recognize some of the members here that we had. Look out, it's Jax. They said I bought a PSVR 2. How much of a mistake did I make? find out next week. I think the experience itself is really good. It mostly comes down to the potential and if Sony's really going to get on board with it. I hope they do.
The hardware is good according to all the reviews.
Yes. Dark Type says, hey, Spawncast, any of you play the new SpongeBob Cosmic Shake game? It's great seeing Nickelodeon allow developers to come up with something fresh. I know someone who did, and unfortunately they're not here, and that's Jordan.
Jordan did tell us, Jordan said that he liked it. He said he beat it in like 5 hours, but he said it is a very, very tight, very fun game.
Then we have South Coast Horizon says, John, do you have Evolution Worlds in your GameCube collection? Has anyone on the cast played this game? I understand it was a generic JRPG with explorer themes, but I always loved that animation when I was younger. Easy on the eyes. I do actually have it. It's legitimately right there. It was the last GameCube game that I picked up recently because I am still picking up GameCube games as I have a chance to. And that's when I bought individually. So I've not played it yet, though. That was when I missed out on that generation. It looks cool. Visually, you're right. It does look good, but I don't know if anyone else did, but I haven't played it yet. Ricky says, how do you guys think AI will be utilized in video game development? I kind of feel like for QA, like testing, it'll be used mostly, but who knows? Who knows?
I think it's gonna be background stuff, like games like Hogwarts Legacy. There's so much forest and stuff that I'm sure that's procedurally generated right now, but I feel like you could do better with AI generation of all those rolling hills and ponds.
What was it? It was High on Life. A lot of the portraits in there were supposedly AI art generated.
Oh, that explains why they
some
suck.
and some games have actually done AI voiceovers to replace VOs and stuff, or even just circumvent needing VOs. So mostly AI will be taking away jobs from people, so that'll be great.
Jen says, being a Splatoon fan means hearing every Nintendo YouTuber say looks cool, not for me. Hey, Splatoon 3 was fun.
I love Splatoon 3, but I'm not a Nintendo YouTuber.
Splatoon 3 was fun. Let's see, Evan, where can I find you?
If you're into tabletop games, more specifically Games Workshop stuff, more specifically Kill Team, I have a YouTube channel, Kimmerix Project. I try to post videos on there every Friday. And if you are into random babblings about games, or when I go live for streams on Twitch, or potentially retweets from Nihilist Arby's, I also have a Twitter account called Kimmerix Project.
Hey, if you want to learn about tabletop stuff, go check Evan out.
Watch the tabletop stuff. Like I said, I've been on an adventure of what the hell is all this. I've been on the best adventure of I don't know what this is, but it's cool. It's like a bunch of figurines, and there's like overhead shots, and there's like animations that are like, he does like custom animations on stuff. It's like really well done. Like I said, I don't know what the hell's going on, but go out there and check it out. It's actually really cool.
I think I might have a painting video this week. Not sure.
Okay.
Watch Evan's streams. I watched him for like an hour this week. He like plays cool music. He talks to chat constantly. And honestly, your painting is incredibly top notch. He's like painting robots and stuff. It's very entertaining.
Yeah, we got some Chaos Nights to paint this week. That'll be fun.
Watch the robot stuff, guys.
I'm going to be tuning in.
Dakes says Legend of Zelda themed Animal Crossing, Hyrule Crossing. Thoughts? Legend of Zelda themed Animal Crossing. I think I just put theme stuff in there, but I don't know.
Make a season for
interesting.
Zelda. They don't got to spend the whole damn resources on that.
So,
the CIA has a save file of Osama bin Laden playing Animal Crossing. Have you? I swear you can Google that. Apparently, Osama bin Laden had a bunch of video games when they killed him, and they dumped all of his save data in case it might have like terrorist secrets on it or something like that. And then they talked about it publicly. So you can find Osama bin Laden. It's like the 3DS, the DS Wide Worlds. You know,
I've never heard of that.
Google it. That is a real thing. Osama bin Laden apparently really loved Animal Crossing.
Private tab. Guilty by association and stuff like that.
Big fan of Osama bin Laden.
Incognito browsing.
South Coast says, where does video game charts get their numbers? Generally between eBay, Amazon, or any kind of like listings like that. Really, they just add them up month to month, and then I believe get an average from it. Then John O says, best non-gaming channel would be Sean's WCW versus NWO match commentary.
That is a classic.
Where is that? Is that up?
No, it doesn't exist.
Oh, okay. And then finally, Sean, where can everyone find you, and where's the after show?
The after show is right here. I have a link. Come through, say hi. You can find me on RGT85. Tales of Symphonia video tomorrow. We'll probably run the after show till like 12. So
okay,
like 50 minutes.
Okay, that'll work. Thanks everyone for joining us. the Spawncast. And I feel like next weekend we'll have a lot to talk about. MVG will also be back because he was at Level Up Gaming Expo, and we'll see if we can find Nate. Yes. Okay. Thanks everyone for joining. We will see you next weekend.